million. But there's a simple solution. Start with visual termite inspection from SA's leading pest control specialists. Your team from Murray's.
No worries with the team from Murray's.
Go to murraypestcontrol.com.au.
Sheds come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, but if you're after a shed, go and have a word with the family-owned team at Best Sheds. The sheds at Best Sheds are up to a staggering 40% cheaper than the competition. Wow, 40%. Plus, all their sheds come with a 20-year manufacturer's warranty, and you can choose from the standard range or customise the shed of your dreams. So, come on, team, let's hit the sheds. Best Sheds, 100% Australian owned and manufactured. Visit bestsheds.com.au.
Macca's new Tennessee barbecue burgers are now touring for a limited time. With smoky barbecue and tangy honey mustard sauce, crispy onions, and 100% Aussie beef. Grab the hit single or double Tennessee barbecue burger today. Available after 10:30am.
Toolkit Depot's Makita Spend and Get ends today. Spend $250 on Makita power tools and accessories. Get $50 back in TKD gift cards. The more you spend on Makita, the more you get back. Hurry, ends today. Only at Toolkit Depot. T's and C's apply.
You're listening to The Showdown on AFL Nation. Find your next Hyundai at Adrian Bryan Hyundai.
Welcome back to the Adelaide Oval, Showdown 57. Kim Dillon, David Wildy, Mark Bickley and Kane Corns with you. This is the pre-game show. Thanks to Toyota. You don't send a ute to do a Hilux job. Oh, what a feeling, Toyota. We're about 21 minutes away from the opening bounce. We'll get right into the game shortly, but the ladder, Kano, is looking incredibly interesting at the moment.
It is, and we were just saying off-air with Bix, who pointed this out, that it's slightly misleading just because of the distortion of where and how many teams have played, including Essendon, whose game was cancelled, of course. But Collingwood on top, Hawthorn equal with them, just 3 percentage points behind. Brisbane still to play. They got North Melbourne, so they can go to outright first. Gold Coast can jump up as well with a win over the Bulldogs tonight. So that one is a bit of an 8-point game between those two because they're 4 and 6 at the moment. Adelaide can probably entrench themselves in the top 4. Geelong and Essendon rounding out the top 8.
As we look at the sides, and we all had our predictions at the start of the year, the Western Bulldogs absolutely flying. I think it's the first time I haven't put them in the 8 for 10 years. I'm kicking myself.
Just on that, Kim, Gold Coast 2 points up at the moment on the Western Bulldogs. 9 plays 7 early days.
Anyone getting a little nervous about Gold Coast? I know you think that the AFL may have created a monster, that they're going to go from strength to strength. Are you starting to waver a little?
No, not wavering.
Not wavering at all?
No, not wavering at all. I think they will win enough games to play finals. Probably winning one final would be a good result, and then I think they're ready to launch after that.
Bix, who did you get terribly wrong?
Who did I get terribly wrong? I think I had Melbourne at the bottom end of the 8.
Yeah,
I was just thinking that the Gawn, Petrarca, Oliver, Viney sort of combination was going to prevail for another year or two. But
I got Sydney wrong. I don't think Sydney will make the 8.
Yeah, I think I might have had Sydney.
And I'd put Gold Coast in. That's the one change. I'll keep my 8. The rest of them.
It just shows the role that injuries play, though. I really feel for Dean Cox at the moment. They don't have their captain. They don't have arguably one of their best players in Goulden. They've lost their key forwards.
Yeah, I also
had
Collingwood just outside of the 8 because I thought they had a tough draw, but that's looking rather...
I didn't have them in. I didn't have Collingwood in.
You do all your homework because you just think eventually they're going to fall over the cliff. Can I pose this one to you without any notice whatsoever? If you were to do your 3-2-1 on the best coaches in the competition right now, not on what they've achieved in the past, right now...
Chris Scott, Sam Mitchell, Craig McRae.
Yeah.
I'd go Scott. And
Scott number 1.
Then McRae, I reckon what he's done.
Yeah,
I would go Craig McRae. I think he has changed the way the game's been played in the last 4 years.
And Hardwick's got to be in there somewhere too for what he's done.
Now, though.
I would have thought Luke Beveridge as well.
And Beveridge, they're probably the 5, aren't they?
When he dropped Liam Jones the other day, I nearly ran off the road when I was driving. I thought, how the heck, what's he doing? And that was on the back of other players not playing, and then they had a great win.
And where's Fagan come into it?
Well, exactly. Can we judge him poorly because his list is so strong?
Someone sent me his record in the last 6 years.
Fagan
during the week.
4-4-5-5 top or something.
71% or something.
But do we not
next best is in the 60s. So you have to.
He's got to be
do
up
we
there.
not give him credit because he has such a good list?
I don't know, but we should start to.
Yeah. I think it's because he has such a good list that the expectation is they should be a good side.
Oh, there's been a lot of
look at
teams
what
with good
they've
lists.
done with Logan Morris and Lohman.
Kai Lohman.
Yeah, there's been...
Archie and the improvement of some of those lesser lights.
Yeah,
like
absolutely. Dave
Starcevic,
Zorko, who's
these guys.
still playing great footy.
Wilmot, there's a lot that just come in and...
that takes a little bit of work to
he's done well,
manage
but
those players.
I think Chris Scott over time, though, to keep on resurrecting Geelong
Amazing.
has been incredible and perhaps could have, sneaked another flag somewhere there too.
All righty, let's start talking and looking at tonight's game. Are we going to expect anything different out there from the coaches? We were talking during the break and at the start of the show about the possibility of Rosie being tagged. What about the fact that Butters in the last two showdowns had 42 disposals and 33?
Oh, Peatling will go to him, I'd say.
Yeah, but there's never a hard tag with Adelaide.
No.
They just don't want to know about it. They use that old, it affects our structures.
I think what I'm going to watch the most closely tonight is the structure that Port Adelaide have around the ball in terms of Adelaide seem to have a good record against Port because I just talking to some of the players over the last couple of years, they feel like Port Adelaide get through the contest really quick. So Horne-Francis and Butters get on the move, and when they get it, it looks great, and they still Adelaide are able to put pressure on. But if they don't get it, it leaves them exposed going the other way, and they just get found out. So I really and when we interviewed Connor Rosie, I think it was early in the week on Tuesday, we mentioned about the contested ball numbers because the reality was against Sydney and North Melbourne, they lost the contested ball by 46 against Sydney, and only because they put pressure on and Sydney aren't a great side and they turned it over did they escape. And similarly, they lost by 16 the contested possession against North Melbourne and got away with a small win. But and I said, if you lose that again to the Bulldogs, they will not give it back to you, and that's exactly what happened. So it's going to be today. They have to have a better method around the stoppage, which means I think Wines and Drew will spend a bit more time through the middle.
How can they have so many good midfielders but be 18th in the competition for ground ball gets? How does that work?
It's been a bit of an issue for them for a while now, I think, the ground ball stuff. So I don't know how that works. Definitely in their defensive 50, their ground ball numbers haven't been great either. So I guess it might speak to Bix's point, like first possession off hands, if you get it, it looks amazing. But if it's a spillage and it's a bit messy and it's on the ground, we saw that in the final last year against Geelong. They got them on the ground and it hasn't been a strength. St Kilda was another example. There's now a blueprint, to Bix's point, on how you can get this Port Adelaide side. Yep. And when you come up against good coaches like Ross Lyon with a far less talented list, compare midfielder for midfielder against the Saints, and they were smashed.
I think Adelaide can let one off the chain, Port Adelaide, but I'd put a clamp on Rosie with if Bix's riding goes half forward, Michael Annie goes Jim and just take him out.
You interview the coaches on your show. We do it. They
don't
won't
you think?
do it.
If he goes to half forward, Michael Annie will just take him. He'll play lockdown.
So, but what I'll say to that, Wild, so if Michael Annie goes up into the contest then, okay, so now it's 5 forwards at one end, 6 at the other, and Port still have a spare in their end because they've sent one up. So the next one, you just say the same thing. Okay, Joe Richards, you push up a bit, and then... Adelaide maybe chop off.
Rosie's dangerous, Bix, if he can, and he doesn't like a heavy tag either. Whereas Butters seems to be able to break a few tags. So I think if you can lock down Rosie and he doesn't play well, Crows just win. You can let Horne-Francis and Butters get a bit of the ball.
And what Adelaide did last week, I watched him live. I thought he coached extremely well. To get Rochelle into the form that he was, what a bonus. Because then you go Rochelle, Rankin, Dawson forward. All the talk's been about their tools. They took 20 marks inside forward 50, but only 5 between the 3 tools. It was the smalls that did all the damage. So, I don't know, one week the tools will get you, the next week the small. As long as the midfield can hold up with some of those lesser lights and you can be flexible with Dawson and Rankin. Gee, they looked so dangerous.
Well, we had 5 centre bounce attendances, which this is Rochelle we're talking here, which we haven't seen for a while. And the other thing that you get with that is you get... Rankin in your front half more than you get him in your back half. Yeah. So I was a little bit bemused when they played Fremantle. He spent 68% of his possessions were in the back half of the ground. Now, I know Fremantle had a bit more ball, but you want him getting the ball ideally in the front third, and even better if you can get him inside 50, because we saw how dangerous he was last week.
All righty, we need to jump into a break. When we come back, we're going to have a look at the best offenders thanks to Murray Pest Control. The boys are going to select their big moment thanks to Budget Car Rental. This is going to be a cracker. Showdown 57. We are here thanks to Toyota. You don't send a ute to do a Hilux job. Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
You're listening to The Showdown on AFL Nation. Find your next Hyundai at Adrian Bryan Hyundai.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles' famous once-a-year May Mayhem is the biggest and best ever. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750, or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. That's right, spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Don't miss the biggest and best National Tiles May Mayhem event of all time. So rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
364, 363, 362.
3, 2, 1. Just like that, you can skip waiting for EFS to buy a new car. Thanks to Hyundai Prius. Jump into offers across a wide range of new and demonstrator Hyundai models, like the bold Kona, the dynamic Tucson, and the remarkable i30 sedan. Don't wait. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today. T's and C's and exclusions at hyundai.com.au.
Get excited for the footy with the Metricon AFL Record Round 9 edition.
The rock stars of footy, the star key forwards, are back. We look at some of those kicking bags of snags in 2025.
In his weekly column, Sam Edmund looks at what we know about Freo, Gold Coast and Carlton, and what we'd like to know.
Plus, Spud's game is back as the Saints once again shine a light on mental health.
With the Macca's 24-page matchday section, grab your Metricon AFL Record Round 9 edition.
On sale at all grounds for just $6 or via aflrecord.com.au.
It's where passion and skill collide.
Comes back to Declan Hamilton. This way, that way, goal!
The Host Plus Sandful League. Fierce rivalries, nothing beats it.
Here's Sharp, outside of the boot, goal!
Tune in each week for SENSA's broadcast of the Sandful Match of the Round.
Push towards goal, it's all about the bounce. It's going to go through. This game's not over.
Catch all the action live on SENSA, 16:29 AM and the SEN app.
As we all know, SA is going through a housing crisis right now, but McGain Real Estate really want to help. If you're a landlord looking to sell your property, but you're feeling a bit guilty about disrupting an awesome tenant, McGain have landlords ready to purchase your property and keep that tenant in place. The team at McGain have hundreds of landlords ready to buy investment properties, so there's no need to stress about asking the tenant to move out or waiting for the lease to end. Visit mcgain.com.au.
I'm going to go to the toilet and grab some more beers. Pause it for me?
No way, mate. We're not pausing live sport. If he kicks this, we're in front.
Nah, it'll be all right. Oh, what? Oh, no. Did I miss it? Come on, mate. You got to rewind it, please.
Oh, not a chance, mate. You can catch it on the highlights reel.
You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
When being on the road is your business, keeping your truck in top shape is everything. With stores right across the country, Truckline stocks over 70,000 parts for North American, Japanese and European trucks and trailers. So that means you can get the quality parts and expert service you need to keep your business moving. Truckline, the truck parts you need Australia-wide. Visit truckline.com.au today.
A coupon for free hugs, yay! This Mother's Day, gift Mum essential love from Chemist Warehouse. There's Carolina Herrera Good Girl 80ml, $149.99. Don't pay RRP $245. Marc Jacobs Daisy 100ml, $89.99. Don't pay $165. And Jean Paul Gaultier Classic for Women 100ml, $89.99. Don't pay $245. Give her a happy Mother's Day with big brand fragrances and bigger savings. Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day.
You're listening to The Showdown on AFL Nation. Find your next Hyundai at Adrian Bryan Hyundai.
Yes, welcome back to AFL Nation. We're live from the Adelaide Oval at Showdown 57. Kim Dillon, David Wildy, Mark Bickley and Kane Corns. This is the pre-game show thanks to Toyota. You don't send a ute to do a Hilux job. Oh, what a feeling, Toyota. Both sides out on the ground doing their warm-up. Boys, we need to get through a few things. The best defender, what are you looking forward to tonight? Thanks to Murray Pest Control. Play Pest at their own game with the team from Murray.
I'll start with the Crows. Josh Worrell's just about in All-Australian form, Kane.
Yes.
Keep me a close eye on him. He's been excellent, and we'll see him doing some good work intercepting again tonight.
He's been unbelievable. One of the stories of the year for Adelaide, and it's the three of them back in tonight. Brody Smith stiff. Like, I thought he played real. That just speaks to...
Had 28 in the
Adelaide.
And played on the wing in the Sandful boys.
It just speaks to Adelaide's depth versus Port Adelaide sort of fighting and scrapping to put a decent 22 together, and Smith misses out.
Just looking at Connor Rosier's warming up with the defenders, so it looks like he most likely will start in defence.
Just another game, Kimbo. The Gold Coast Suns leading early, 15 points up on the Bulldogs as they approach quarter time up there in Darwin.
They're up there for a couple of games. Hawthorn go up there next week. Is that what it is? New experience
I'm keen
for the
to
Hawks.
see Dante Vicentini. How's he going to go against Riley O'Brien?
Yeah, well, look, I've seen him. He's had a couple of opportunities, but not as the main ruckman. Like, they've used him as a second ruckman before, a bit forward, a bit in the ruck, but there's not much behind him tonight. Look, he just looks to have developed nicely, just looking at his body from here. Some strapping on the knee always worries you, but I would think Riley O'Brien is looking to have an absolutely monstrous night. Like, Sauce Jacobs won 3 Showdown medals. If I was Riley O'Brien, I'll be thinking there's a Showdown medal up for grabs tonight.
He's bounced back pretty well too, Riley, after a couple of quiet games. Now, Bix, you've sat in the big chair as a coach before for the Adelaide Football Club. Kane, you had the nous to coach, but you'd probably get too grumpy with your players.
I'd be hopeless.
If you were in the coach's seat, thanks to CMAX, join a paid clinical team at CMAX and help advance the future of healthcare. What's a little sneaky move you may do tonight?
I mentioned about Connor Rosier, whether you'd put him as a half forward and push him up, but it looks like he's going to start in defence. I don't know. I think if I'm Adelaide, I'm just backing my midfielders in. I know you like to tag and do a few things there. I'm just saying to the midfielders, you just have to, around the contest, you need to make sure that Butters and Horne-Francis have some body to deal with. But then let's us play. And I think what we saw with Adelaide last week, the way they moved the ball and kept the ball off the Blues was as good as any team have done it. And I think they can do the same again tonight.
Kano, you're in the coach's seat.
Well, I love Worrell, but I love Michael Aney more. And I just think this guy's an eventual midfielder. And with the amount of small forwards sort of out, particularly Rioli, I'd just like to have a look at him on ball for 15 minutes tonight at some point.
15 minutes?
Yeah, just put him in a centre bounce. A little bit similar with Rochelle. I don't know, 4 or 5 centre bounces tonight, particularly if you've got the game on your terms, because if he can stand up as a midfielder, that's another one that they can go to later in the year. That's another bit of flexibility they can have with Dawson and Rankin and Rochelle, and we use them. And he's a good size. Like, he's got the Hayden Young ability to play midfield, I reckon.
He got a couple of squirts in there last year. There's another game being played, Big Willie.
Yeah, well, as I said, 15 points up the Gold Coast Suns. But Malcolm Blight spoke with you during the week, Bix, and he says you got to tag one. He said if someone gets off the chain, you do sit someone. You can't let Butters run right.
My only thing that
I don't mind one.
I think you have an accountable midfielder, which is Drew or Peatling. But generally what will happen, someone from the opposition is going to get some of the possession. So if you sit on a Rosie, then expect Horne-Francis to get a bit of it. If you sit on him, expect Butters to. You're not going to stop all three. So, and when you're playing like you are playing, I think you start at least backing yourself in. And like Malcolm used to say, you hope that the opposition have a bad day. Let's not tag him. He might be going to have a bad day anyway.
All right, boys, you all got creative minds. What about a big moment today for budget car rental? Get on the road faster. Call 13 27 27. Give me something big.
Yeah, I'm going to give you Isaac Rankin. Last time he played a Showdown, got knocked out by Dan Houston. I think he's going to put on a real show tonight.
Well, come on, hit me with it. 34 goals. Kano?
Well, I just want to see if there's a start in Port Adelaide like there was against Hawthorn. Is there an emotional response? Joe Richards ran absolutely right in the first quarter. Can they get something going emotionally? Because they're going to have to. You don't want to trail by a big margin at quarter time. Adelaide could break their spirit.
Make a big call. Who's the player to do it in the first quarter?
Well, I think I'm looking at Joe Richards. They got him for a reason, and he had 7 and kicked 2 in that game against Hawthorn.
Best quarter he's ever played.
Yeah, well, it was the best quarter I've ever seen him play. So Power Pepper's the other one who often starts a fire for them physically and emotionally, and when he's playing well, usually the rest of the team jumps on as well. And can Horne-Francis stand up in a showdown and have a game where he just says, I'm the guy today, and I'm going to take and rip the heart out of Adelaide, because it's going to be built on the back of Port Adelaide's stars. They're going to have extraordinary nights.
They just had a close-up on him, the Horn Dog. He looks like a beast in the prison bars.
He's a big boy. McEntee, Kane, I thought his career might have almost been over.
Yeah, I mean, they do like his physicality and his discipline. He's done some big jobs on the likes of Tom Stewart before, so we'll see if he has a defensive role on but I don't know.
Could it be Worrell?
It could be Worrell, but then, like, to your point, then what does Hinge do? Then what does Laird do? Then what does Michael Laney do? So, I don't know. I think it would be a bit risky going after one, and which one do you choose?
Your brother Chad's going to adopt Jed McEntee. He loves him that much.
Him,
yeah, absolutely loves him. What was your big moment?
My big moment, I felt like Georgiades isn't far away from kicking a handful. And Sydney, he missed a couple of set shots. He's the number one banana now. Perfect conditions. You'd think that some of the forwards are going to have a night. So I'm expecting a handful from both ends. Phil Thorpe 5 at one end, Georgiades 5 at the other end.
All right, my big moment, I have a very creative and sick mind, is that Taylor Walker will kick 5 tonight, and after every goal he's going to look up to the AFL Nation box and give the bird to
what I did? I'm not a gambler at all.
Yeah.
But during the week, I might have put a few dollars on Walker to kick 4+.
Oh,
so I might have. If he does, I said, well, I backed him to kick 4. See, there's methods in my bad. I backed him. I'm happy. I'm happy.
He does. You get a little bit in the pocket.
Yeah, I'm happy. He had a good night.
He averages 2.5 in showdowns. Hey, just quickly before this one gets underway, hot and cold players. We'll go to you, Bix. A couple of quick ones from today. Who's hot? Who's cold? Thanks to Panasonic Air Conditioning. Panasonic Comfort Cloud. Set your air conditioning.
Today's games?
No, in this game.
In this game.
Who's been hot? Who's been cold? Who do you think will be hot?
It's going to be... I think Rochelli's one to watch. I think he was hot last week. Can he keep that going? And remember last time he played, it was the whole controversy about the choppers. Yeah, so...
That's right.
I'm expecting him to be hot at some stage and do a big celebration, and I'm expecting the crowd's going to be fairly cold on the back of that.
It won't be a teethy celebration.
Without giving him the mods, I think Radicalle's been in really good form.
Yes.
And it's gone under the radar a little bit. Like, you look at his intercept numbers as, you know, compared to the best in the game, and they're really solid. So him and Aaliyah are very important players for them. Now, Asava can make the odd error. We know that. He can kick across goal and turn it over, but he's been in good form.
Port Adelaide, Loveborn, Francis, Cold, Finlayson. He needs to do something.
He's a whipping boy.
Yeah.
All righty, that has been the pre-game show. Thanks to Toyota. You don't send a ute to do a Hilux job. Oh, what a feeling, Toyota. We've about a minute to go. The unofficial anthem for Port Adelaide is underway. Hey, we've done well, boys. We've got about 90 seconds. Willie, you first. Who wins and by how much?
Oh, I've got Crows by 25 points. I think Port will be in it for a while, but I think Crows just playing better footy.
So a tight game and Crows get away in the second half. Bix?
Yeah, look, I think Adelaide, about the same. 5 goals, I think, as Radicallia runs down and takes his position alongside Riley Philthorpe.
Kano?
I think Adelaide will win by 7 goals.
7. Yeah, well, I was thinking I'll go 28 points.
Oh, look at Rosie and Walker are going at it. Lockie Jones is in there as well.
Oh, yeah, they've come to play Port Adelaide, as you'd expect.
And you said Neil Bullen's got Rosie.
Showdown 57, I said that he'd go to him. Neil Bullen, thank you. David Wildy to get this underway. The place is jam-packed. The whole world's watching this game on AFL Nation. David Wildy to get it underway.
Have a listen to that roar.
Wow.
Adelaide gone to the northern end. It was a packed house here. Showdown 57 and bang goes the ball. And up go the big man, Vicentini. Riley O'Brien, who gets first possessions? Rankin. Just too hot for Beatling. Beatling got caught high and wins the free kick. Richards came off his line.
Just Horn Francis starting out of the goal square for Port Adelaide at full forward.
Beatling to Laird. Laird goes laterally up the wing. Miller is out there. He's taking his time now. Port Adelaide getting numbers back. Goes for the short ball. Dangerous kick. Neil Bullen has got the job on Rosie. Got it back to Laird. He was tackled but let go. Works it up towards half forward. Out they come here. A good handball. Rankin again to Keys. Oh, it's Crows everywhere at the moment. Walker couldn't turn around and pick it up, but he does in the end. Kick it straight in the shins there for Lear. Coming through the Crows again. Cumming. His first showdown. Snaps towards goal. Almost to mark. It's all happening in the first minute. The Crows trying to keep it and it goes out.
Geez, if you're Taylor Walker, you're thinking, I'm in for a big night. Lockie Jones is the matchup.
And remember a couple of the showdowns ago, Jones started on Fogarty and he kicked 2 in the first quarter.
Yeah, do remember that. Throw it in the left forward pocket, northern end of the Adelaide Oval, members side. This is AFL Nation, Showdown 57. Walker in the ruck. Rochelle applies a tackle. We'll have a ball up about 30 metres out.
Did Rankin have 3 possessions in that first 30 seconds? Or certainly a couple.
Got a couple. It was a nice handball from Fogarty. They had a big chance and they blew it. Ball comes out. Meads close to the boundary line. Kept it in play. Went back on his left. Went down the line. And there's another possession. This is Nankervis. takes the mark. Too far out the score, I would suggest.
I think if he runs around, like the man standing the mark's on 50, I think as he approaches him, he'll just veer off to the right. He'll get the journey.
Very energetic lead from Fogarty. He's still asking for it. Oh, a bit of hip and shoulder. Fogarty and Powell-Pepper off the ball, testing out his shoulder. Surely won't get there. Kicks from 52. Got a bit on it. Bix was right, but it went to the left. So that's the first score of the game. Adelaide leading by 1 point. And that, my friends, is on the Toolkit Depot scoreboard.
Here's all Adelaide early. Only a couple of minutes in. Short kick now to Lockie Jones. He can be so good and so bad all in the one play, can Lockie. He's got the ball. Big crowd in. Beautiful night here in Adelaide. Goes to the diagonal kick. Finds Drew. Drew's kick was partially smothered. Farrell on the end of it. Perhaps it wasn't. Went straight to him. Still a bit of gunpowder out there, picked from the pre-match. As they go out wide, Nankervis has held his ground. O'Brien like a big Clydesdale. He went after it. Couldn't be much, but it's a free kick.
Got hit high when he went to ground.
He reminds me of a Clydesdale, slow but very strong. There's Riley O'Brien now, up towards the wing. Coming out like a train, there was Phil Thorpe, one without the footy. It's a hot football at the moment. They can't get any clean ball. Peatling on all fours. Got it back to Worrell. Kim Dillon's favourite player. Beautiful speared pass. Now to Fogarty.
He's a member of the Left Footers Club.
2 kicks out from goal. Not even Fogg can kick from there. But he kicks to the hot spot. Out they come again. Phil Thorpe, yes! Big strong man, the number 7. Put up the hands. He played in the last showdown, just coming back off a long injury. And I reckon Bix will back him from here.
Yeah, he'll certainly get the journey, but gee, that's an ominous sign, isn't it? He ran, he jumped. There was 2 Port Adelaide players there. He's just got too much size. And I'll take you back to the game he played against Geelong at GMHBA Stadium last year. He took 7 contested marks, kicked 3 goals, 3 I think it was that night, but that's a good start for him.
20 goals, 11 for the year. He's a big, strong man. From 50, kick on his waist, spews out the right. Walker pushing and shoving. And a good fist from Vicentini, knocks it over. So all the running is early with Adelaide. They get the second behind on the board on the Toolkit Depot scoreboard.
We'll get into a few matchups shortly. The brawl brought back into play. That was by Rosie. Gets it out to the members' wing. Got plenty of depth on that one. Powell-Pepper has it. Handballs to himself. The boundary might win out here. Worrell harassing. Michael Annie comes. The cavalry arrives. Picked up by O'Brien. Back to Worrell. Possession number 2. Looks for Thilthorpe. Good work by Mead. You won't see that too often. Mead outmarking Thilthorpe. And the short pass goes into Vicentini, and here's the switch right to the outer side. Aliir takes it. Dinky little kick
got
goes
Drew
out.
on. He's worked really hard for this. Should get it, but Burgoyne just a fraction slow.
So the ball trapped on the outer wing. Now he kicks long, gets plenty of penetration. It'll be just inside 50. There was a nudge on Georgiades, but the mark's been taken, and that's Jordan Butts.
And that's what happens when you go slow. He had Willem Drew on a 45 who worked really hard, but allowed O'Brien to get back, and it was a 2-on-1.
Butts goes down the line, looking for Dawson. The captain couldn't take it. Adelaide pick up the scrap, so now it goes down towards Dawson. Good hands, got it over to Keys. Long handball was a beauty to Fogarty. He drives it in long. You heard Kane. It was a beautiful kick to find Thilthorpe. But was that a great spoil?
Yeah,
it was.
Jones.
She's paid it. Well done, Jones. I like to see the replay, boys.
I thought he just took it a bit easy, Thilthorpe. I thought he was just going to take an easy, uncontested mark, but Jones made up a lot of ground late.
It's just a concern how easily Adelaide are bouncing out of their half-back line and their ball movement, which was really strong last week against Carlton.
Kane Corns there for Lumo Energy. Crows 30 out from goal. Northern end again. Lockie Jones can be hit and miss. As he said, he just banks it out of trouble momentarily. Crows have to stop at the goalkeeper. It was Worrell. He's got the orange boots on. Kicks to a 1-on-1. Don't see that too often. Good mark. Rochelle to McGain real estate mark of the night. And Rochelle, he's just gaining that confidence. A bit of maturity now about him, Bix.
Yeah, 3rd mark inside 50 for Adelaide as well. So ominous signs already. 2 contested.
As we said last week, Rochelle and Thilthorpe almost identical. 62nd game, 79 career goals. And he can add to that. He's normally a pretty good kick.
Showdown 57, thanks to Adrian Bryan Hyundai.
All eyes on Josh Rochelle. Very deliberate, walks in. Not a tough angle, kick on its way. It's a beauty. Magnificent kick. And it gets the carry easily. It's all Crows leading by 8 points early, as Kane said.
Did he do the teeth?
The alarm bells are ringing.
He ran to the crowd.
Did he do the teeth?
No, it wasn't quite the teeth.
I thought I was worried for him for a minute. I thought they were going to drop him again for doing the teeth, but what a finish. An incredible mark. I mean, 5-1 entries already, and with the strength of this Adelaide forward line, they're going to put 20 goals on Port Adelaide if they can't defend the ground better with the way that they're moving it, and it is living in Adelaide's front half of the ground.
So Adelaide lead by 8 points, only one inside 50, I think, at this stage. Bix, thanks to for Port Adelaide, thanks to Lodex Equipment Hire, become a Lodex legend. We'll get all the stats shortly. Ball back centre field, Adelaide leading by 8 points on the Toolkit Depot scoreboard. Showdown 57.
Just good pressure from Adelaide inside their forward 50. Port Adelaide just jam it out of there, and they had Worrell just plenty of room and time to deliver it back.
Ball
to
back centre field. Vicentini won the tap. Saligo there opposed to Wines. Getting over the top of it was Saligo. Nice handball. Flick forward by O'Brien. Getting back over the top of it is Rosie. Wrapped up by Rochelle. Good pressure. Loose ball comes out to Farrell. Prodigious kick. Goes to a 2-on-2 up high. Big Mark Ward. That's the Magain real estate mark of the day. He thrives on the contest, this young lad. Be nice to see how he ends up in about 4 or 5 seasons' time. Ball goes inside.
Free kick.
Did he pay it?
Wow, Finlayson, is it? Georgiades.
I thought he might have paid the mark.
No, I thought chopping, I thought he said, but or holding. Gee, nice mark to Ollie Lord, though.
Kano, I couldn't see the free
Soft
kick.
free kick.
Yeah.
To me, I
nothing.
was struggling to see the free kick live, and I'm struggling to see it on replay, but it was good movement, wasn't it? Off half back, helped by an excellent contest win by Ollie Lord, who every time I see him play, I just think there's something with this guy. Just got to keep persisting with him.
Expert comments, Kane Corns and Mark Bickley, thanks to Lumo Energy, 100% Australian owned. He lines up 40 metres out, no real angle, and he's missed it.
They've got to kick them.
Missed it to the left. Adelaide leading by 7 points on the Toolkit Depot scoreboard.
18-14 now to Georgiades. Fogarty 18-4. Rochelli's the 6th player to kick 10 goals now plus for the Crows. Good mark there, a long lead from Keys. He just goes up and down that flank. Will run all day. His drop punt goes towards half forward. Mark not take Radaglia. Second attempt almost did. Falls on top of Curtin, fell on him. Coming away with it was Butters. First time I called him so far. Now they can just bide their time just waiting. Rosie goes out towards Aaliyah.
Kick.
Beautiful kick. Aaliyah now. So Port Adelaide just for the first time tonight getting a bit of ball. We've travelled 9 minutes. Willem Drew's kick. Bit off more than he could chew there to Drew. Now here's Peatling. Peatling goes back. Phil Thorpe's got it. He's out of cider. He's going to go back. He'll get the carry. Shelley kicked one from about 4 or 5 metres closer in.
It's a bad error, isn't it? Willem Drew, going in board.
It's a second bad kick,
It was never going to hit the target. It was on, but he just had to hit it because he was surrounded by 3 Crows players. So as soon as he hit the deck, they're so efficient at getting scoring opportunities off turnover, and the best sides are, and I think it's a big improvement from Adelaide.
Peatling and Rochelle off, Dawson and Rankin on.
For his 80th career goal, he puts it up high, perhaps too high. It's going to land right in the teeth of goal. Mark not taken. Port Adelaide did well again. They thump it through from behind, but they are looking dangerous, Adelaide. 9 plays, 1. 10 minutes gone.
He's had 2 marks inside forward 50. Hasn't flushed either kick. Both came just off the outside of his right foot, so he didn't get the journey on that occasion.
We're here thanks to Hyundai. Find your next Hyundai at Adrian Bryan Hyundai. This is Showdown 57 live from the Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide home game, and they are jumping in the stands at the moment. Short little pass right on the 50-metre defensive line for Port Adelaide. Ollie Wines takes it. Had over 20 possessions, I think, in the last 15 showdowns. Goes low. Another bad kick, though. Taken by Rankin. Oh, beautiful hands. He draws the opponent. Gives it to Nankervis. Did a bit of a goose step. Shrugged the tackle. Goes back on the right. Pumps it inside 50. Asava Radaglia. Should be there. No. Big mark by Philthorpe.
Third time lucky, maybe.
Well, 2 contested marks. A 3rd mark inside forward 50. He looms like a colossus in there at the minute.
It's going to go round this time, round the corner.
Body. Just watch the replay there. Great work by the skipper and Jordan Dawson just to be a distraction and get in the way of Radaglia and Ollie Wines. So the big fella around his body, what do you reckon, boys?
He's skill level chalk and cheese at the moment, Kane.
Not a hard kick, this one.
No. There he goes. Oh, terrible. He's gone right to Bendy.
Oh, it's coming back.
Oh, beautiful kick.
Terrible. Kimbo.
Terrible initially. Ended up brilliant. Gee, got a bit of bend on that one. Adelaide get their second cover.
Well, and I'm not sure he flushed that either, to be fair, the way he called that, Kim, but it did get a bit of draw and come back. But I guess he gets some reward, and Adelaide gets some reward for the dominance that they've got at the moment. And that's just another example, Kane, of a really poor kick coming outside of D50 and very costly.
Yeah, 5 scoring shots directly off Port Adelaide turnovers. So Horn Francis starts at full forward. Ball doesn't go down there. Like Port Adelaide have had 2 entries. He comes off the ground and has a rest for 5 minutes. Now he's back on it. So he doesn't get his first centre bounce attendance.
That makes sense.
And there's 10 minutes to go in the first term of a showdown where you desperately need to start well. It makes 0 sense to me. Finally, he's in there now, but you think he was one that physically would have been up to this challenge.
Very good start here from Adelaide. Playing some super footy, and their skills are on display. Big tackle of Dawson, puts a saddle on Bergman. But they do look very, very sharp, Adelaide, at the moment. Phil Thornton in particular coming up his line. A good tackle there applied by William Drew again.
Any matchups you can see, boys, that are a little out of the norm?
Well, Lachie Jones on Walker, they might have just switched that over now.
And Neil Bullen's got a pretty strong one on Connor Rosie too. So Finlayson, you called that, Kimbo, you got that one right. But Rosie marks on the wing, the western wing. Port Adelaide just a need to get on the board. They're a chance here as they go forward. Farrell kicks to the pocket. Here come McCaffrey. Can they take a mark? Adelaide had it, then lost it, bumped into each other. Bergman did well. He gets tackled to the ground. Ooh. Nankervis in there. Second, third effort's really good. Rosie had to go. Rosie did go, but take the mark. But he got through traffic. Almost leg there. Gives a congested area. Coming up his line was Walker. Burton grabbed him quickly. The game's heating up. It's a good game of footy, but the Crows are handy leaders, lead by 14.
That was a pretty good pickup by the Texans.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, looked for the body contact as well, didn't he? Tried to burst through.
Yeah, good tackle by Burton. Back into the side. Ball gets thrown up. The Horn Dog over the top of it. He is a tough unit, and over the top of him is Neil Bullen. No free kick. So we've got a ball up about 70 metres away from Port Adelaide's goal. Haven't gone inside 52 often. Free kick in the ruck. They are the bane of football's existence, I think. Handball, a shocking handball by Thilthorpe. It goes to Powell Pepper. This will be a goal. He's gone on the ball. I said play on. Didn't tackle him. Loose ball comes out. No, another umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going Port Adelaide's way. Take me through that, boys.
Just watch Kane Farrell around the back here.
Can't tell you what the free kick was for, but it's going to Ollie Wines. And he goes out wide. That is loose checking and a beautiful pass to find Finlayson, who can be a bit hit and miss on a set shot.
Well, this one was cool play by Finlayson because you got both Finlayson's in the ruck and so is Riley Thilthorpe. Thilthorpe's trying to get back on the line and he's calling to get someone down to man up on Finlayson because he's 50-odd metres out. And in the end, he was in between. He was neither on Finlayson or on the line. And Wines smartly put it to his advantage.
Phil handball, Bix. Gee.
Yeah, what was going on there? So Jessup will line up. He'll kick from about 48. He's kicked 1 goal for the year. He's a left footer, and that's a beauty. You can hear the crowd and the boys get around him. That'll do his confidence a world of good. So all of a sudden, it's a 2-point ball game after the Crows' dominance, and that's on the Toolkit Depot scoreboard.
Well, probably a bit of payback for the awful errors from Drew and Wines. The Thilthorpe, he almost sort of missed his hand. He went up into the air, and then there was a bit of a scramble around. I'm not sure exactly what the free kick to Ollie Wines was in the end, but I thought he used all of his experience. There was a lot of numbers back. Adelaide were expecting the long ones to the top of the goal square. He just diverted it off to Finlayson. Bix caught it really well. And I mean, the pressure to go back and kick that set shot when you're under the pump just settles a few nerves, I would think.
Wouldn't be like the Mickey McGuan injection painkiller into the groin. The Riley's had one in the hand.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't have thought so.
Well, he's been so brilliant early.
Free kick was there. It was a high tackle against Dawson on Ollie Wines.
Beautifully done, Bix. All the specials coming to us thanks to Lumo Energy, 100% Australian-owned, Mark Bickley and Kane Corns.
Back in the centre, Butters emerges with a footy. Bergman playing in the centre too. It's a long penetrating drop punt. Out come the forwards again. Mark not taken. Spills the free kick.
Other way.
It's going Port Adelaide's way.
It's just a hold on Georgiades in the marking contest. They're so hot on these. You can't wrap any arms around the waist. We'll have another look at it. But
was it Keane?
Wilt, you picked it up with Bergman starting centre bounce. I think they're trying to get him, as we look at the free kick against Butts, too high.
Left arm over the shoulder.
But Bergman to Dawson is a definite matchup that Port Adelaide are trying to orchestrate.
So he missed his first one. He's an exciting young player, Mitch Georgiadis, 18 goals, 14 this year. He can spray him, but he can also kick the miraculous. For Port, 2 in a minute. And to reduce the gap to 2 points, he pops it through. So a couple of free kicks to go on the Powers' way, but it doesn't matter, they made them pay. 2-3-15 to 2-1 to 13. It is game on.
And just the value of a centre bounce, like you get the ball out really quickly, you go in deep and you get a one-on-one contest, and Jordan Butts got his hands full there and just panicked a little bit, got his arm over the shoulder of Georgiades, and that's the value you get when you isolate your forwards. And well done to Georgiades, goes back and actually puts it through the middle. So ascendancy back with Port Adelaide.
And the game up in Darwin at the moment. It's the Suns 37 to the Western Bulldogs 28. How long into that game really was it?
That's almost half time.
Alrighty, great game of footy here. Showdown 57. This is AFL Nation, and we're brought to you thanks to Adrian Bryan Hyundai. Ballback centre field, Kimble and David Wildy, Kane Corns and Mark Bickley on a Saturday night. Where would you rather be? 50,000 people at Adelaide Oval, and this is a massive game in the context of the ladder for 2025. Ball goes down to ground level. As we mentioned, Bergman in there. Dawson gets it. Just a piddly little kick went out to the members' wing. Free kick off the ball. Take me through that, boys.
Holding in the market contest. It looked pretty even. Looked like both players are holding. Jace Burgoyne's going to take. He's actually pretty good one-on-one, Jace Burgoyne, despite his size and stature.
He's rangy, isn't he? Ball goes to Butters. Nice looking kick, and he has found Bergman. Wonderful player, Bergman. Butters wants it back. He goes around the back. That's ignored. He's cut off at the pass. So he'll kick it to the hot spot. He kept it down fairly low. Butts is underneath it. Ball at the back of the pack. Riley O'Brien was there. Tackled when he didn't have it. There was a Port player, and I reckon it was Vicentini. Didn't have the ball. Umpire didn't buy into it, so we got a ball up.
Horn Francis got a pretty good ability to win a high tackle free kick here.
Vicentini won the tap. Nice one. Got it out to Rankin. He gets on his bike. Nice looking kick, and he finds Fogarty on that flank.
This guy started well, coming up for disposal, number 5. Couple of inside 50s and working right up the ground on this occasion for the pressure releasing contested mark.
Marking half back, just goes short now. So Port Adelaide's last 5 minutes they've dominated. Horn Francis yet to get busy.
Hasn't touched it, Wilts.
Yeah.
All the stats thanks to Lodex Equipment Hire. Become a Lodex legend.
As Kane said, starting at full forward and taking him off doesn't give him much chance.
That's a good mark.
Oh, did it hit the ground? I thought it hit the ground.
It's 50 now.
It hit the ground.
Almost a slip catch and a 50. So the momentum's just swung in this game.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, geez, I reckon it hit the ground twice.
I know. The umpire was
It hit the ground first, then it bobbled up, then it hit the ground again, and then the umpire was in terrible position here. He was blocked from what the ball was doing by the player earlier.
So he kicks it to Radagalier, who goes long and strong again. About 8 flight, and Riley O'Brien got it down. Horn Francis came through. Peatling wrapped him up really quickly. Good tackle.
How do you catch Horn Francis on the move?
Did well.
Yeah,
and to not give a free kick away, very easy to fall in the back there. Just rolled him to the side nicely.
And he looks a skinny little lad, is Peatling, but he can tackle. Horn Francis again gets rolled over crocodile type.
And there's Dawson that time.
He would be one of the most tackled players in football, Horn Francis.
Takes him on all the time. Vicentini, O'Brien, Richards, Taylor now for the Crows. Had it, lost it, gave it to Peatling. Tackled, dropped it. Butters in there as well. It's a hot football at the moment. Big Riley O'Brien got it to Taylor again. Lucky Jones pushed it forward back to Taylor. It's like volleyball at the moment. They can't get it out. It's been in the same area for 10 seconds. Finally, it comes to Port Adelaide. Now Butters throws on the foot. The goalkeeper down back. If they can pick up his Michael Annie. He kicked it 3 metres sideways and they're out of trouble.
Down.
I think they're out of trouble. Yes, they are. They go to the outer boundary line. Oh, big hit there. Strong mark taken by Ben Keys. So will Adelaide try a switch here? Port Adelaide are all over it. They're up and about. They got their head in the trough, Port Adelaide, after a slow start. Keys goes down the line. Even contest. Ball goes down the ground level. Curtin in there.
Kicks.
Free kick. What's the free kick
Free
count?
kicks are 5-3, unless that one hasn't ticked over yet. Might be 6-3.
All thanks to Lodex Equipment Hire, your partner to grow. We love their support. Adelaide Company, Big Jason Kerry. O'Leary gets the handball off to the skipper and Connor Rosie drives it long. Terrible kick. Kicked it straight to Riley
It's
O'Brien.
just a too shallow entry, so you can't be launching inside 50 from behind centre. Like Adelaide are going to love that. Every good team would love that. You've got to launch from 80 to 70 metres out from goal.
Yeah, they have looked to the intensity. They've upped the ante, Port Adelaide, and Crows had it all their own way the first few minutes. No free kick there either. Neil Bullen came in hard. They come in hard on him. Keys picks up the crumb. They work it forward through Laird, now to Walker. The Texan throws it on the boot, and he covers 55 metres, and it lands on the chest of Fogarty.
He went for a barrel.
Well, still covered at least 55 as a wobbly-looking kick.
Now, this bloke cannot keep kicking goals from 50 metres on angles like that, surely.
It says something about your entries. Like sometimes just the lack of predictability.
Chaos.
And just speed beats anything, polished.
Yeah, well, that's it. There's 3 pairs inside forward 50 instead of 8. That's the difference, isn't it?
18 goals for this year for Darcy Fogarty. It's a beautiful kick. What's this kick like? No, it's going to go across the face of goal and hits the other goal post. So is that out of play?
Well, it was a free kick. 50 metres. It was high. I'm just looking at Rankin was next to the umpire, so something happened.
Wow, this is a massive moment, a big moment for Budget Khan Truck.
Against Butters.
Fogarty kicks goal. Phil Thorpe's got one. Mark Bickley's happy, and Crows get there third.
Well, that's a massive turning point because that was out on the full. Free kick to Port Adelaide, and instead, as I watch Walker and Butters remonstrate, so it looks like it might have been against Zach Butters.
Where's the replay? They going to get up on board?
Oh, just keep an eye on that.
That's a big moment, as I said, for Budget Khan Truck, and it was out on the full, goes to a 6-pointer.
They might not even have vision of it. It was that far away and that far off where the set shot was happening from. But the camera certainly, from the broadcaster, is picking up Zach Butters, so he's the culprit.
Here we go. Interesting to see the horn dog in there having a word to him. There we go. Can we work it out? There's the replay.
Oh, tell me that's not it.
Really?
Tell me that's not it.
No, it can't
looked like a little trip or a stumble.
That it cannot be, surely. What is happening to our game? Well, both sides getting a few dubious free kicks. Ball back centre field. Saligo tried to crash through. Likewise, the horn dog. Now it goes down to Rosie. Couldn't get rid of it effectively. It's inside 50. Adelaide, something might happen here. Curtin gets it. Pirouettes around. Gets on the natural left. Look out. Here comes Steelthorpe. No. At the back of the back. Fogarty had it. Lost it. Big use of the body, and it's rushed over the line.
They're saying deliberate. They want to deliberately.
Nah, it's only 3 metres out.
They might have been saying throw.
Yeah, scoop. All right, Fogarty maybe should have held that one. O'Leary did really well. Ball on the outer wing now. David Wildy.
Well, Adelaide waste no time getting it back towards the wing. Pressure is enormous in this game.
Huge.
Great start to Showdown 57. The power merged through Horn Francis. Little dinky kick to
Feels like a classic Showdown. Like whether Port Adelaide can sustain this level of pressure, but go back to that last centre bounce. That was everything you want in a showdown. Players just kamikaze putting their head over it. Pressure was enormous.
24 gone in the first quarter.
50 metres. You wouldn't mind playing either of these teams next week, would you? Because they've been up for this.
Well, the AFL said they're going to crack down on the protected zone, so that's what it was there. Fogarty just had to stand rather than protect the zone, and saw a lot of 50s paid this round.
So Rosie goes out wide. Now they cut him back in ball to Burton, who's a beautiful kick. Kicks him in the pocket, and it all left to mark, taken Horn Francis. Big tackle applied again. George Yardens to William Drew. Drew on his left. Misses everything, out of play on the full. Real chance gone beating for Port Adelaide.
Geez, they've been hot on Butters every time he's picked it up. They've really tackled him hard.
Absolutely loving this game. AFL Nation, Showdown 57, 2-1 Port Adelaide. The Crows 3-4-22, a 9-point advantage as the Crows drag it out of deep in defence. Up high, good strong mark taken by O'Leary. Play on. He paid it, rightly so. So he's got the ball out on the outer wing, in between the wing and half forward on the outer side. Port Adelaide kicking to the radio dial. Kim Dillon, David Wildy, Kane Corns and Mark Bickley with you. As O'Leary goes a short little pass.
That's where you want to launch from. I mean, a lot of numbers back still, and it's a slow play. But it just gives you a chance to find something or get a deeper entry.
Willem Drew goes for the second option, the deeper entry, puts it to the left forward pocket. Big leap by Ollie Lord, got a hand on it. Mark Keane hasn't had a lot of it. Kicks it around his body.
Fogarty was good there.
Playing well, Fogarty.
Yeah, got punched over there. They'll take that. The ball goes out of play on the outer side. What do we have, boys, on the clock?
There's 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left.
So
that ball just gets hacked out. It looks like it's a simple mark for Alir and going back in, and Fogarty runs back with the flight, gets a fist in and out of bounds.
We'll call that a big moment. Thanks to Budget Car and Rental. Get on the road faster, 13.27.27.
Well, to Port's credit, they've wrested back the initiative. It was all Adelaide early, and now they've had some really good moments in there. Working hard. Overtime is Horn Francis.
There's not a lot of breathing room out there, is there?
Just the one touch for Horn Francis. Butters has had 4, so doing a pretty good job on those prime midfielders.
Really hazardous if you get near the footy. You're going to get belted as Rosie. It's a high kick, a really high one. Miller in there. Burgon got a shocking bounce. Now it ends up with Adelaide, Port Adelaide through Butters. Beautiful kick. He spotted Darcy Burn-Jones. It's going to be 50. This will be 50.
It was silly from there.
No need to do it.
It was soft, but it was stupid. Like, he's not in this marking contest, and he pushes him straight in the back. Like, what's he doing? There's no get out whatsoever for that.
It's a flop, though, isn't it?
Yeah, all of a sudden, it is a 3-point game on the stroke of quarter time. Both teams are giving away silly 50s, and this time it's Darcy Burn-Jones on the board. 3-4 plays at 3-1.
Well, it probably evens up the other one.
Yeah, well, but in the end, like, I get it if it's a bloke playing his 5th game or something and he's all hyped up. Laird's played 250 games or just about. He should know better. The rule is you can't touch them if they're not in the marking contest, and to put your hands in his back
all day, every day.
And push him down. Now, he accentuated the contact. And, I guess that's just smart play. Got what he wanted, puts him on the line. Goal to Port Adelaide.
All right, ball back centre field, and that's happened in red time. I'll tell you in a moment when it comes back on the super screen.
Suns by 8 points. Almost half-time.
So a cracking game up in Darwin as well. We've got a beauty here. 3-1-19 plays 3-4-22. Adelaide leading by 3 points on the Toolkit Depot scoreboard. Ball back centre field. Goes down to ground level. Riley O'Brien's been pretty good. Tried to paddle the ball back towards Dawson. Used his big frame. Got a handball out the back door to Peatling. Got it to O'Brien. Kicks to Rankin. Jones was good. Ball went down to Rosie. Slipped over though. He was good enough to get the ball back. It was Sin in fact. He now gave it to Rosie. Those dancing feet went back to Sin. A big tackle there on Sin. And that was by Fogarty. Ball comes out to Miller. A great mark. We'll give that a McGain Real Estate Mark of the Day nomination. Outbodied his opponent in DBJ.
Yeah, he's finding some nice form now, Wayne Miller. He's on the wing.
A minute left on the clock.
Can they score a goal? You got the feeling here, Kimbo. Up goes Phil Thorpe. Down goes Keys. Barrels it towards goal, and it goes out of bounds. Good result for Adelaide.
Can I ask a question? Like, if that's in the middle of the ground, it's insufficient intent. Why is it not inside your forward 50?
Well, he had a shot for goal. It was
I
just a
know,
poor
but
kick.
you could kick it off the side of your boot if it's in the middle of the ground. I've asked the AFL this, and they don't have an answer for it.
I'd say poor skill on that occasion.
Bizarre.
Up goes Visantini to Rosie, now to Burgoyne. Port Adelaide trying to hold on for the last few seconds. Out comes Riley O'Brien. Couldn't clap the mark. Off hands, out of play.
Those big telescopic arms. There's an easy answer to the question, Kano, though, but they won't buy into it. Last disposal. Takes all the pressure off the umpires.
I'm with you, Kimbo. I've heard you speak about it. I was a slow burn for it, but now you just see the way that they're paying it.
Yep.
And it's an absolute no-brainer for them and the umpires.
Yeah, we're asking too much of the umpires to predict what a player's thinking. Ball goes down to ground level. Bergman playing in the midfield. Yeah, he's been real good. Good smother, though. Hinge has been quiet. Kicked it off the ground. They might be lucky here. Saligo will get it. Should kick it. Oh, that was terrible football. He panicked then. And there could have been a score for Adelaide. It won't be now. And I think we'll run out of time. We've got about 14 seconds left. And a free kick.
That's tumbling, is it? Oh, it's gone the other way.
Yeah,
no, he got his second.
Okay.
Umpires are rattled. Free kick to
Shepherding, I think he's trying to gesture the
That was
umpire.
a weird gesture. It was like almost a semi-holding the ball gesture.
Oh, he plays on Keane. I think we're going to run out of time. They need to take a mark. Can't do. Ball goes to ground level. What a cracking first term, boys. That is brilliant. Port Adelaide 3-1-19. They were out of the contest in the first 10 minutes. Adelaide 3-4-22. It's a 3-point lead. We'll jump straight into a break, then we'll come back with our experts. Thanks to Lumo Energy, 100% Australian owned, and we'll have all the stats thanks to Lodex Equipment Hire. It's the Crows by 3 points on Showdown 57.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Toolkit Depot. Makita Spend and Get is on now at Toolkit Depot.
G'day, you've reached Jimbo. I'm currently setting up the kids' school fair, so leave a message.
Jimbo,
it's Carl. I'm in a bit of a pickle and I could really use your Hilux. I promised the school I'd round up some goats for the fair's petting zoo, but they're running circles round my ute. It's humiliating. Oh yeah? Breed all you want. A Hilux is on its way. Call me back.
Don't send a ute to do a Hilux job. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Chasing some extra legroom and premium seats this footy season? Fans who know best choose Sixt for all their vehicle rental needs. Whether you're looking to make game day travel smoother than a handball or want to give your holiday rental car a luxury touch, we have the right vehicle for you. At Sixt, we'll have you out on the road, not stuck on the sidelines. And das ist good. So travel like a premiership player this season. Book today at sixt.com.au.
For ultimate braking performance on your off-road adventures, fit Bendix Ultimate 4-wheel drive brake pads. Their high-tech ceramic formulation provides low dust and noise while delivering high-temperature stability and exceptional fade resistance. They also feature our mechanical retention system backing plate for improved pad attachment strength. Bendix Ultimate 4-wheel drive brake pads. Bendix. Put your foot down with confidence.
Looking for hybrid, engineered timber, laminate or vinyl flooring? Beaumont's has it all, plus a chance to win. Shop our new range and you could score $5,000 cash. 5 winners, $5,000 each. Will it be you? But don't wait, only at Beaumont's. T's and C's apply.
Macca's new Tennessee barbecue burgers are now touring for a limited time. With smoky barbecue and tangy honey mustard sauce, crispy onions and 100% Aussie beef. Grab the hit single or double Tennessee barbecue burger today. Available after 10:30am.
Sheds come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, but if you're after a shed, go and have a word with the family-owned team at Best Sheds. The sheds at Best Sheds are up to a staggering 40% cheaper than the competition. Wow, 40%. Plus, all their sheds come with a 20-year manufacturer's warranty, and you can choose from the standard range or customise the shed of your dreams. So, come on team, let's hit the sheds. Best Sheds, 100% Australian owned and manufactured. Visit bestsheds.com.au.
Fully Australian owned, Lumo Energy has won CanStar Blue's Most Satisfied Customers Electricity Providers SA for the second year running. Switch to Lumo to join thousands of happy customers enjoying great value energy plans and rewards. Lumo Energy. Join today for award-winningly great value. Lumo Energy not available in all areas. Eligibility criteria and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lumo Energy. Installerine.
For the hottest of hot water you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
Save on hot water energy use by up to 73% with Ream Ambi Heat Heat Pump.
Installerine.
Accept nothing less than Australia's best.
It's time to go big on savings with Metricon's Big Love Sales event. Save up to $35,000 across a huge range of single and double-storey homes. That's big savings across some of our most popular 3, 4 and 5-bedroom homes, with one to suit your lifestyle and family. Visit a display to find out more or search Metricon now. T's and C's apply. Discount varies by home design. Excludes land and site costs. BLD 231776.
You're listening to the Showdown on AFL Nation. Find your next Hyundai at Adrian Bryan Hyundai.
He's got the orange boots on. Kicks to a one-on-one. Don't see that too often. Good mark. Very deliberate. Walks in. Not a tough angle. Kick on its way. It's a beauty. Magnificent kick. And it gets the carry easily. It's all Crows leading by 8 points earlier. Forwards again. Not marked. Not taken. Spills. A free kick. Oh. Other way. It's going Port Adelaide's way. He can spray him, but he can also kick the miraculous. For Port, 2 in a minute. And to reduce the gap to 2 points, he pops it through.
Welcome back to the Adelaide Oval. This is AFL Nation Showdown 57, quarter time, and the Adelaide Crows lead by 3 points. 3-4 plays 3-1. Kindle and David Wildy, Kane Corns and Mark Beckley. Kano, what caught your eye in regards to the stats thanks to Lodex Equipment?
Well, Adelaide started really strongly, sort of destroyed Port Adelaide off their own errors and off turnovers, and their forwards looked really threatening with Thilthorpe and Fogarty. But Port Adelaide were able to get on top through the midfield. They led clearances by 3 in that term and ended up breaking even almost with entry. So their second half of the quarter was much better, but pressure is high.
Lodex Equipment High, your partner to grow. We'll get the individual stats from Mark Bickley shortly. Both our experts are courtesy of Lumo Energy, Australian-owned 100%. Here's David Wildy for the second term.
Yeah, a lot of quiet players. Jack Saligo, only 2 possessions. He's better than that. He gets the first possession, or does he? Almost caught on the ball. In fact, he is.
Don't count that.
No. Vicentini, the big man, did well.
Good tackle.
I think he's competing well.
Yeah, he started well.
Just feeds off to Farrell, so Port Adelaide can go long into attack to the northern end on a beautiful night in Adelaide, and a mark taken.
I was watching that contest. He put 2 hands into maybe his shoulder or his side, and he's keen out of it after watching the push in the back that was paid earlier, as we get a replay now. But it was in the end, Finlayson.
He's had difficult times as Jeremy Finlayson has really had to earn it.
Just gently moved him out of the way.
Mark Keane it was.
Yeah, Mark Keane.
Yeah, I think needed to be stronger, I reckon, Keane in that contest.
He actually tried to make it look a lot worse than what it was. But this is why Finlayson, I'd pick him every week as the second ruck.
He's kicked 1 goal. He can make it. 1 goal, 1.
Dear
just missed. Struck it okay. But to the northern end, he just missed to the right-hand side. Point to Port Adelaide.
Got to do better than that. Hinge brings it back into play. Lairdy would want to have a good game after giving away that 50 and costing a goal. Kicks down to the members' wing. Butters, he's an absolute champ. Floating mongrel kick goes inside 50, but the mark's been taken by Mark Keane. He retreats and goes back to Josh Worrell, the left footer. On the natural side, goes for distance, kicks to a 2-on-2, ball at the back of the pack. Bergwijn should be first there. Free kick to Keys.
Not sure he needed to do that, did he? Because it was just had to get it to ground. Port Adelaide had numbers there.
All right, Adelaide are going to try and run this. Keys draws his opponent, puts the handball back out to Worrell. He goes down the line. It's a beautiful kick. Diving mark taken by Tex Walker. Gets the Bronx cheers. Plays on. Kicks along inside 50. Front position. Dawson had it. Lost it. Quick hands. Got it to Neil Bullen. Dinky little kick. Still inside 50. Plenty of danger for Port Adelaide. Big sling tackle. Oh, umpire didn't pay it. You never know when they will and they won't. Snap shot by Neil Bullen. Hit the post, did he?
Yep.
Minor score. Adelaide back to a 3-point advantage on the Toolkit Depot scoreboard.
It's going end to end and it's going very quickly. Fast-paced game. Almost cut off there, but a nice mark to Lockie Jones. So on the rebound, Sin goes for home. A long 55-metre kick up the wing.
Over the shoulder.
Geez, they're paying some frees, aren't they?
Too involved. The umpires are too involved.
Spot on.
Finlayson to half forward. Powell Pepper's been a quiet player, but he picks him up the footy and he can race away to the goals. Tries the big snap. Round the body he goes. All about the bat.
Monfries!
Monfries again.
It was Monfries!
Oh, the Demons have come back to Horn Adelaide exactly the same. Just as big an off-break you ever see. And Powell Pepper, a miraculous goal. Maybe, just maybe, it is Port Adelaide's night.
Well, not just did it turn square, but it actually got some elevation and it went over the man's head for Adelaide, who was on the line. This is an absolute cracker.
Deja vu, if ever you've seen it.
Geez, they moved the ball well, though, didn't they? From a risky kick out from Sin that was nearly touched, but what a bounce. Just took it upon himself in the end to have a shot. A lot of luck in that. Umpires are a little bit too involved. There was a Tiki Touchwood paid on the centre wing, which wasn't there. But Adelaide would be a bit concerned about giving up a kicking goal so easily. Average about 8 points from kick-ins per team per game.
All right, we may have a game, gentlemen. This is a cracker so far. Port Adelaide in front by 3 points after being dominated in the first 15 minutes of the first term. Ball back centre field. Umpire let another crack at it. We got Butters opposed to Rankin. There's superstars everywhere. Riley O'Brien wins the tap. Went down to Connor Rosie. He's been huge. Had 10 possessions in the first term. Ball comes out the back door. Nankervis got it. Now it goes out wide. It's a race for pace. 1-on-1. Neil Bullen went to ground. Cardinal Sin. Farrell was good. Paddled the ball perfect forward and got the handle out to Lockie Jones, who had a fumble. Neil Bullen punched it back. Now it goes back. Kicks it inside 50. Taken off hands. Still snap shot. Can he get a favourable bounce? No. Rochelli's got it. Lost it. Got it. Lost it. Wrapped up in a tackle. Now they kick a goal. They do.
Something touched.
Keys has kicked it.
Well, he's very confident, Connor Rosie, that it's touched.
Geez, if he has touched this is a captain's moment in the showdown. Let's have a listen to the umpire.
No, busted calm truck too. Let's have a look.
Gee, that's a good effort.
I reckon he's got there. He has flown on the horizontal to smother. Look, it's not definitive.
I don't know what the soft call was.
I know.
It looks like it deviates.
No, this will be a point.
See the ball deviate after making contact with the ball.
Gee, it's a good effort from Connor Rosie.
That is a big moment. Thanks to budget car rental. Get on the road faster. 13:27:27. A captain's touch.
It was goal saving. I thought Walker was quite unselfish. I mean, he was well within his rights to pick it up under no pressure and snap an easy goal. Left or right foot, he can kick both.
Gold Coast by 7 points, half-time. Dangerous kick in. Rochelle can pick it up, can go to the top. This should be a goal. Keys for the second time.
He's missed.
Has he kicked it? Wow, Bix, he hit the post, or he kicked the goal 30 seconds ago. Rosie's fingertips stopped it. There's a poor kick out from Port Adelaide, Kane, and they paid big time.
Rosie tried to find Lockie Jones and just bounced in front of him. Just a really poor error. They've been quite aggressive from their kick-outs and have taken not 50-50s, but 60-40s, and a couple of those haven't paid off. They nearly saved the goal again. Desperation on the goal line. Adelaide nearly made a meal of it. Was Ollie Wines came in and nearly touched it again, but gee, they've conceded two soft goals now.
Dear.
One from the 50 from Butters, which had missed, and then one after Connor Rosie's amazing effort. He made an error and cancelled out his own effort.
Rosie went from hero to villain, and Keys went from villain to hero in the space of 30 seconds.
Rooster to a feather duster. We like people being unselfish, but I'd rather a Shelley just kick those. Ball back centre field. Vicentini wins the tap. He's done okay. Got it down towards Bergman, playing in the midfield. Used to be a regular on our show. He said he wanted to get there one day. Rosie was it Butters. Rosie it was. Jammed it on his feet. He's found Finlayson. No, it's not. It's Georgiades.
Wow.
And he takes out Keane on the way through.
Gee, it's a good piece of play from Connor Rosie again. I mean, Bergman won first possession, just launched it inside forward 50 to even numbers, but he went for a 50-50 handball to Butters, who was also brilliant, got himself out of traffic. And then Rosie's as good as anyone at getting himself out of a tight spot in the phone box, and in the end, got it onto the boot quickly, and Georgiades played in front. This is a big kick.
The skipper is twinkle toes himself. He is so light on his feet. It is a big kick. He'll be kicking from 35 metres out directly in front. One you shouldn't miss. That causes more pressure. But he's a pro. He's whacked it through the middle, and Port Adelaide are back in front by 2 points. And that's on the Toolkit Depot scoreboard. Makita, Spend and Get is on now at Toolkit Depot.
Well, just the centre bounce is so critical, isn't it? When you can get your hands on it. Butters got his hands on it, did some sort of shrugging of tackles, and they were able to get the ball back to Rosie, who had some speed up, and in the end he was off balance but just got it in there, and Georgiades just responded quicker than anyone else and took a great mark.
So two contrasting games. Port Adelaide dominant from stoppage. They've kicked 3 goals from stoppage, 2 from centre bounce. Adelaide have kicked 4 goals from turnover. So all 4 Adelaide goals off Port turnovers, and most of Port Adelaide's damage done from centre bounce and stoppage.
Yeah, I don't think Neil Bullen on Rosie's working either at the moment.
He's electric at the minute, Rosie.
I would put Mike Lanny on him. He like a human glove. So back in the centre, Port Adelaide look really sharp tonight. It's a fantastic effort. Big week with Willie Rioli distractions. The Crows should be able to clear, and they do. Momentarily, Saligo up towards lands in the lap of Philthorpe. He's pushed to ground as well.
He marked it on the 50-metre line, by the way.
Yeah, umpire hasn't taken him back, so he just goes short. Out comes, well, what was it meant for Walker?
Meant for Walker. The lead was great, but
Neil
somehow
Bullen chipped in and taken the mark.
Somehow there was a big leading lane and pocket of space left after a reasonably slow entry. So Burgoyne, as the wingman, didn't get back fast enough and hard enough. And Port Adelaide's mids weren't able to get back and guard against that dangerous space.
Well, he needs this. Rosie's dominated him. He's hit the post once earlier. Alex Neil Bullen loves the goal, the former Demon Premiership player. Kick on goal is good. Straight away he knew. He struck it perfectly, so it's goal for goal. Mark Bickley, what a game of footy.
No, it's fantastic, and it's just that the team that can get it out of the middle and get field position and get it going their way, that's just been the last 5 minutes. Port Adelaide out of the middle, goal. Adelaide respond with some good work from Saligo. Got the initial clearance and just banked it forward. Philthorpe, who playing a little bit higher up the ground, was in front spot and just took the mark on 50, then delivered beautifully to what you said was meant for Taylor Walker, who probably was going to mark it anyway, but Neil Bullen just came across in front.
Just a quick look at a couple of the Lodex equipment hire stats. And Connor Rosie, 14 disposals. Ben Keys, 9 from the high half-forward position. Darcy Fogarty, 7. Zach Butters, 7. Miles Bergman, 7 as well. So the ball back centre field. Bergman playing in the midfield. He's alongside of Dawson and doing a good job. The skipper's been quiet for Adelaide. And Vicentini's been good, but this time the tap was won by Riley O'Brien, but it went straight down towards Wines. He kicks it up to centre half forward. A good strong mark taken by Rory Laird.
He's got to find a way to get that ball to ground. It was Richards on that occasion. Kick didn't favour him, but just got to find a way to be physical enough to get it to ground.
Yeah, Laird's not a long kick, and Port Adelaide were all over that. Big fist away by Sava Radagalier. The loose ball came down to Richards. Got it over to Willem Drew, and turned to Wines. He brings it inside 50. Ball goes to ground level. Picked up by Miller and wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire says dead heat. We'll have a ball up 45 metres out in front of the old scoreboard to the northern end of the Adelaide Oval, which has Adelaide in front by 4 points.
Beautiful night in Adelaide. Big crowd, all pro Port Adelaide as you'd expect. Here's Mead. Hooks it back towards the goal square, and they might sneak in from behind it. No, it's out of the play on the full. So the pressure has been enormous. And I'm not sure what the pressure ratings are, but you think they'll be high from both teams.
Yeah, they would be.
Jason Horne-Francis, 1 disposal for the night, thanks to Lodex Equipment Hire, become a Lodex legend.
Last showdown, Butters at 42, Rosie 28, Horne-Francis 24. So other two are being okay, but Jason Horne-Francis 39
he's on the bench. Like, he's just spending too much time on the bench. Like, he's been at full forward a lot of the night. I don't know if you need a rest if you've been at full forward. I know your rotations are predetermined and all of that, but surely you can adjust that. They've got to get him going.
Kane Corns there for Lumo Energy as Crowsdale worked forward. Up went Kurt. Kurt was almost the block man there for Riley O'Brien. They had gone to the pocket. Rochelle came out, but a good small from behind. That's Sin.
Yeah, he's good.
Knocks it over and out.
His positioning was really good, Sin there. He took front position, and that allowed him to cut the angle quicker than normal because the kick was really good. Looked like Rochelle was going to mark it. Excellent spoil.
The other player that's been quiet is Isaac Rankin, just the 4 touches so far.
And he had 3 of those in the opening 90 seconds. So here's a chance for the Crows. Walker dangerous in the ruck. Pouncing on it was Rosie. Rosie's coughed it up to Saligo. Back towards Phil Thorpe again. He's looming large. He's a big man. He's a mammoth man, but he is the one they can't stop up forward.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's much Alir could do about that. He was right on his backside, but it was just a kick. It was a low, flat kick from Saligo. It was really disciplined. He was only 35 out on the boundary line, but he just put it back to a really dangerous spot. I'm not sure he wanted to put it exactly onto the chest of Phil Thorpe, but Phil Thorpe was in front, and that's where it ended.
Well, he's kicked one, he's missed a couple, dead in front. Surely he'll kick his second, and he does. He does, goes down to his knees, and players come from everywhere to say, well done, Riley, but he is the difference at the moment. When you look at the forwards, how many marks has he clubbed? 4 or 5?
He's had 6 score involvements from 8 touches, so he's kicked 2 goals. He's taken 2 contested marks, I should say, and I think that was his 3rd mark inside forward 50, so he's a problem. That was his 3rd contested mark. Not sure it should have been counted as contested, but it was. And inside forward 50, doing a lot of damage. 4 of those 7 marks for Adelaide have been taken by that man, the thrill seeker. He's on fire.
And he's so imposing. Like, Alir's a big man, but when you watch the replay, he just can't get around the shoulders of Phil Thorpe. He's used his body to protect the drop zone.
All the special comments thanks to Mark Bickley and Kane Corns and Lumo Energy, 100% Australian owned. Adelaide out to a 10-point advantage when the flow was with Port Adelaide. Finlayson's been pretty good. He's in the ruck. Vicentini's gone for a rest. Now it goes towards Finlayson. Gets a dinky little kick away. Good pressure from Adelaide. Looking for Powell Pepper. He's harassed by Michael Annie. And he keeps the ball. No, he doesn't. The ball comes out. Adelaide are out. So it's a kick. More for hope than good management. It's a race for pace. Fogarty grabs it and takes the boundary line, and they've got to push over the line as well. Umpire says all's fair in love and war. Wow. Throw it in.
I tell you what you don't want to do is slide on your knees like Fogarty did from the turf
on the Astro turf
onto the cement, which has just got a little bit of fake grass on it. That doesn't it?
Into Sean Burgoyne on the boundary line as well.
A
couple of showdown legends there.
Sean Sava Radagalier applying the pressure. Kick number 2 to Jason Horne-Francis. He's been quiet. Mark King got forced underneath the foot. Big solid crash there. That was by Michael Annie. Taken now by Nan Curvey. Davis. Little pass finds Peatling, but a bit quiet this term. Not a lot of options, so he goes long to the thrill seeker. Why not? He takes another game real estate mark of the day. He's huge, ran himself in trouble. Still got a good kick away to Walker. He takes the mark in the right forward pocket. That's Adelaide's play of the day.
Kane, how crafty is Taylor Walker? Bumped about 10 metres before the ball got to him.
They just got to get him in more one-on-ones with Lockie Jones. He's going to win that every day.
Well, and then it creates an issue because then you force Bergman to go back if that's not working for you, and that's really a really good move with Bergman doing a good job on Dawson. So you're right, if they can isolate him and get him up and on fire, that'd be a good move.
So the Texan 30 metres out is in the right forward pocket. River Torrens end about 10 metres in from the boundary. He'll kick from 25 and he kicks a point, and the crowd will love it. That's one of the worst drop punts I've seen. It was like a screwy.
Strange from him. I think he might have been better to go on the left because he's so proficient around the body. It was close enough in to do that.
Chance gone begging there for Taylor Walker, the ex-captain. He's kicked 658 career goals. That's a nice mark too. Keen
They're dominating now, though, Adelaide. Like, danger signs everywhere for Port Adelaide. This ball's living in Adelaide's front half.
Taylor to Laird, but Miller had a little fumble, and Port Adelaide might play. McEntee came through like a rugby union player, and they grabbed him and held him up, but illegally. It's going to come back.
Yeah, might have disadvantaged Port Adelaide, that free kick.
But all the numbers now back.
McEntee now has got a loose man all on his own. It's Mead. He's played over 50 games now. Belongs in football. His dad won the first Showdown medal. Now here's a chance for Ryan Burton. Another one that needs a big game to keep his place in the side. Works it in the pocket. Can someone take a mark from the side? Horn Francis. Ball spills free. Mead applies a clamp. It's only 20 up from the 30 up from Port's goal. It's now cleared momentarily. When the mark was touched, trying to claim it there was Burton. And it was clearly touched. We could see it from up here.
We've got 10 minutes remaining of the second term. This is AFL Nation and Showdown 57. Thanks to our good friends at Adrian Bryan Hyundai. That's where you go to get your next Hyundai. Ball thrown up, taken on the boundary line. Nice kick by Peatling. Gains about 40, 50 metres. The Texan wants the boundary line. Aliir was happy with it as well. So we'll get a throw in now in between the wing and the half-forward flank. Members side, southern end of the Adelaide Oval, which is filled with 50,000 football-loving fans.
Just have a look at this. I think the next 7 or 8 minutes we'll see this game open up. Fatigue really starting to take hold of these players, so could see some scoring.
That is Mark Bickley, thanks to Lumo Energy. Ball went straight down to the feet of Jason Horn-Francis. Got a soccer away, crashes in, couldn't get the footy. Picked up by Hinge. Bought a little space with a handball that went back to Peatling. The kick wasn't great. The ball is still alive. It's 3 against 2. Port have the numbers, but Farrell fumbled. And Adelaide jump on the top. They want to keep it in the area. Quick handball out the Butters was beautifully done by Radagalier. Now he kicks around his body. What about the vision? Kick of the night by Zach Butters, and they're off.
He's a champion, Zach Butters. Here's Burn Jones, got one. Port Adelaide are going to make him pay. Some excellent work down back has ended up in a mark forward, and George Artis can go up and kick his third.
Gee, that's amazing under all sorts of pressure. Like Butters' ability to do that, I guess that's why you give him the 8 years.
2 million.
And you can let him opt in for another 6 if you want. Because there's probably, 5 players in the league that could do that kick.
Yeah, exactly. A handful. But what about, it was a great shepherd by Lockie Jones as well. Looked like Laird was going to tackle someone in defence, and Jones just got in and allowed that a little bit of time for Butters to be able to execute that.
Yeah, Rankin can't get warm, but George Artis is hot for his third goal. Needs to strike it well, strikes it really poorly. And it's either mark or a free kick to Adelaide on the last line, Mark Keane.
Thought that was out on the full. Not that it matters.
Either way, it's a free kick. Gee, good game of footy. It really is. It's like a final. Laird, players throwing themselves in. Not worried about their own safety as they work along the boundary. Fogarty was good first quarter. That's a lovely mark. Terrific mark there from Radagalier. It's McGain, real estate mark of the night. Now they go backwards to go forward. Farrell's got it. 32 plays 43. The Crows in front by 11. As we head towards half-time. What have we travelled?
Risky.
18 minutes. It is risky. Here's Kane Corns. And Adelaide might get the crumb. They get it outside, but there's a pressure everywhere. They drag down Keys. Is he caught? Umpire said no. They're working forward through Sin. Waiting there was O'Brien. Burn Jones did it. You've got to meet the ball. Here's a chance for Butters again. What a player he is. Burn Jones. Drew. William Drew now in the pocket. Where's George Artis? There he is. Here's a chance for Francis. Goes short. Did well. Didn't panic. On the end of it is Powell Pepper.
Jeez, they're still cracking in. I thought maybe they might be able to keep this pace up.
Here's a chance now for Port Adelaide. Was a bird. Has kicked a goal, I think. Was it Ryan Burton?
Yep.
He came off his line. They gave it to him. And Crows just weren't aware of Burton sneaking through. And that's a goal out of nothing. Once again, Port Adelaide looked to be a certain Adelaide clearance, and Porter made them pay.
Well, it's hard if you're trying to stop the run around from behind, because you've got Farrell, you've got Burton, you've got Rosie. There's a multitude of people can do it. And it just, once that ball got fed back to Powell Pepper, everyone was just assuming he's going to go back and take his time. But Burton just snuck down. It wasn't an easy kick by any means as well. He was under a little bit of pressure.
Flushed it.
But he was good enough from 49 metres to be able to get it between the big sticks.
Like one of his golf swings, that one. He's a beautiful golfer.
It's a classic showdown, isn't it? Absolute classic.
Yeah, it's a ripper.
Don't give it the balls.
Just credit to both teams, really. I think particularly Port Adelaide, just for taking it up to them. It looked like in the first 10 minutes that Adelaide were going to have a pretty comfortable night, but yeah, it's been a hard-fought pressure game. Both teams having a real dip.
Ball back centre field. Adelaide leading by 5 points. Finlayson's in the middle. Now stolen though by Dawson. He drives it in along. He wants Thilthorpe. He's got himself under the ball. Even his long arms couldn't take that one, and it goes through for a minor score.
Just played that well, Aaliyah, because very easy to give away a free kick. He was out of position, but just fought. Kimbo, you tell us the score. I talked over you saying that.
No, you're right. 6 points is the margin. It was a nice entry, but a little too deep. Here's a short pass. Could we get a coast-to-coast, boys? We haven't seen too many. Burton, though, not happy with his option, so he goes laterally.
It's probably not a bad move. As Big said, it's been frenetic pace just to take a bit of sting out of it, provided they don't turn the footy over in their back 50 like this.
Hello, that might happen. Yes, it does. Nankervis playing the mark. Umpire said play on, but it's a 50-50 ball now. We got a throw up, so it didn't go to plan for Port Adelaide.
What was Nankervis thinking? It literally bounced off the bloke in front of him.
The mark.
Connor Rosie leaving all comers. Butter's only 9. I thought he seems more prominent than 10. Here he is. You can't catch him. You can't keep him down. Tried to handball it through. Socket stolen at the ground. Almost had an airy. Burn Jones came up his line. Went straight for the player. Did well. Held it up. Stalemate.
The game's so different now, isn't it, boys? When you grab the ball, you know if you get tackled, it'll be a ball up. So you don't see players trying to break tackles anymore.
As long as you haven't had prior.
Big size that Rankin, really quiet as Butter's getting warm. Burgoyne now through on the boot. Lands in no man's land. Ollie Lord got a paw to it. Coming through Powell Pepper. Crashing and bashing Michael Annie. Stolen there by Burn Jones. Good stuff to Port Adelaide again. They go forward. It's been marked by Jeremy Finlayson.
I love it when a whipping boy, an underdog, a bloke that cops a lot of flack, gets a little bit of redemption.
Yeah, and Butter's just going over to Vicentini and all his teammates sort of gathering around him just for his effort. He's having a good crack here. And whether he's got it in him for 4 quarters, I don't know, but definitely taking his opportunity in the first half.
Not in front of goal, though. He should have more.
Kicked one. He's missed one. Kick on his way, and he might have missed 2. It's going to come down to who can actually kick it straight. Yeah, execution.
The thing about Vicentini, he's got a plan. He's running straight across the line and engaging Riley O'Brien and just nullifying him. And it's falling in tight. Then he's saying over to you, boys, to his midfielders who are in pretty good nick.
Mark Bickley and Kane Corns with all the specials tonight, courtesy of Lumo Energy, 100% Australian-owned. Ball goes to the outer side, taken by Mead. Big tackle there by Curtin. He doesn't get a lot of it, Curtin. I think he's going to be a player, though, isn't he?
I think he is too. Just finding him his position. Where's he best suited?
Could be a defender, could be a midfielder.
I think it's probably at half-back, but there's 3 of them that have got his spot at the moment.
He's got a big rig, so it's all part of his education. He'll get there. Rankin's been quiet. He needs to drag himself into the game, just like Butters is. Kick goes forward, big mark. Again, real estate. No, not paid. Miller had it. Trying to get the handball away. Don't argue by Powell Pepper. Was that holding the ball? Umpire let it go. Burton wants high tackle. Holding the ball.
The umpire 100 metres away paid that.
Yeah.
Port Francis zone winning 5 possessions. The big ruckman goes across the face of goal, which can be dangerous. It works out well here.
Look at the work rate there to get that kick was just amazing from Michael Annie.
Zach Taylor, far back flank, just starting to find his feet at AFL level. The kick up towards half forward was Michael Annie, was his chance to Rosie. Now to Burton. Little fumble there from Farrell, but Willem Drew kicked it forward only as far as Rankin. Isaac with the blue boots.
Oh, Fogarty could be a chance here.
They're tired. Players definitely fatigued.
As we said last showdown, he was knocked out. You know he's going to do some good stuff. Finds Saligo. Saligo's short kick was poor. And the barrel chest of Horn Francis, who's only had 5 possessions, takes the mark, and it's a good one.
As a player, you just love that. He was always going to intercept that one.
Well, but once again, it's good work rate. He gets back and fills in that space in front. That's what midfielders are meant to do.
Pressure is enormous here as we approach half-time. It's been an amazing game of footy, a wonderful game. It's a beautiful kick to Burn Jones again. He marks on the wing in front of the interchange gate. Running pass, running shotgun there is Willem Drew. Pops it up to a 2-on-2. Can they take a mark in front as it Crows? They bring it to ground though. McInerney did well. Bergman, he'd love a goal. Kicks towards the hot spot. Crows got the numbers. Keane needs to be good. He was. And finds Ben Keys, so Keane to Keys.
Yeah, he runs hard, Benny Keys. He's come all the way down from the forward line, deep in defence, in front of the old scoreboard that has Adelaide in front by 5 points. Cracking showdown, 57. 28 apiece. Who would have thought? There's a push. There's another mark. How many, boys?
He's a colossus, this lad.
He is huge. Thanks to Lodex Equipment Hire.
Taken 4 contested marks, 8 for the game.
8 marks. That is huge. And he just chips it and it goes 50 metres down the outer wing. Ball at the back of the pack. Port Adelaide all over it there. The fastest player in Rosie gets it. He's been brilliant. And look at that for execution. Oh, yes, the mark just taken by Mead.
18 for Rosie.
18 possessions for the captain, Connor Rosie. Started at half-back.
Probably the 2 best players on the ground, Rosie and Thilthorpe.
Yeah, and Bergman's been pretty good as well, and he's kept Dawson quiet, so that's a win to Ken Hinkley or Josh Carr, whoever, both of them. So just slowing it down a little bit, Port Adelaide. Go down the outer side. Uncontested mark by the man we're talking about, Bergman. He's an absolute ripper. Plays on bad handball. Miss Butters, and the ball goes out of play. Big let off for Adelaide.
Yeah, little moments can be big moments, and Port Adelaide just wasted one there. 6-8-44 to 6-3-39.
Gee, called it, Kano. Some of the players, they've had some close-ups. They look gassed.
Yeah, well, Bix called it before I did. He sort of said, look, it's been an amazing sort of pace, high pressure. It's a big last 2 minutes in this game, particularly for Port Adelaide. They just have to hold on.
Exhilarating game of football. Saligo emerged out of a pack.
Look at Thilthorpe's work. Look at Thilthorpe's work rate.
He can't go with him.
No.
So the short ball again, you heard the boys in the background. Phil Thorpe made about 100 metres to get to this kick. And out on his feet is Aaliyah. They kick up towards half forward again. Back of the pack is Neil Bullen. Pushed off 1, pushed off 2. Simmer's good. Sim's done some nice things tonight. Now to Burn Jones. To Bergman saying, come to me, come to me. Then he put Burn Jones under the hammer. But he's good enough to get out of it. Still saying, come to me. And they do come to him. Here's Richards. Joe, what can he do towards McEntee? 50-50 ball. Dumped out of play. Great game of footy.
Just after 2 minutes remaining in this first half, and they say red time goals are worth 2. Both sides finding it hard to score at the moment. Adelaide 6-8, Port Adelaide 6-3. That's on the Toolkit Depot scoreboard. We love their support. Boundary throw in. Riley O'Brien gets front position. Put it right down on the chest of Bergman. He couldn't take it. Got a second crack. Handball went over towards Butters. He in turn gets it. And on the run is Farrell. Thought about kicking it 3 times. Now pumps it long to a 1-on-1. Butts is there. Big tackle. Worrell. Tackle of the night. What a big moment. Georgiades was about to kick a goal. Take us through that, boys.
Desperation. He did it 4 or 5 times last week, Worrell. And he does it unconditionally. He's now a gun of the game.
Yeah, he's an absolute beauty, and he was in this form when he broke his arm last year, and people are just starting to see what he can really do. Gee, what a game of footy. Minute 15 remaining on the clock.
Write that one down, Kim. Budget truck rental. Massive moment.
We know what you mean.
Yeah.
Easy for you to say.
He's rattled. He's rattled. Ball goes over the boundary line.
It was an amazing tackle, and we'll talk about that at half-time.
Well, for a man that's 6'5", he's got leg speed as well. We saw him out-sprint Jesse Motlop last week.
Well, you did say could he be All-Australian, and a few people scoffed at you, probably including me.
They ridiculed me.
Yeah, we did. We got one right. You don't get too many right, but that was good. So far, we'll agree with you. Butters again on all 4s. Dolly Wines. Will he be the next Port Adelaide 300 gamer? Gives it up to Rosie. Rosie inside 50. Still time. Georgiades did well. Here's Finlayson. He looks at the goals and he kicks it. Gerald, he's back. He's got a couple. And Port Adelaide hit the front on the stroke at half-time.
Fair dinkum.
Incredible stuff here.
Oh, it's just fantastic. I was just about to wheel out the old even a blind squirrel trips over a nut every now and then, Kimbo, with Josh Worrell. But what about that? That was just banged in there. There's a big fly. I think it might have been Georgiades who split the pack.
Yeah, he does.
And then it was a soft drop, which is what you love, and a great handball by Richards. And as I said, I've always sort of scratched my head. He had one bad game early on.
In defence,
which was never his go, but he's got to be better than Ollie Wines in the ruck. And then he also gives you this in the front half of the ground. So he's having a real game tonight.
I reckon he's been a pretty good recruit. I know he's been a whipping boy, but you got him for nothing. 3rd round draft pick.
Yeah, his family stuff has been well documented as well. So who knows the mental toll that has taken on him and his family as well.
Hello, Kano. We've got 20 seconds remaining. Adelaide have taken it out of the midfield. Ball comes into Walker. Loose ball. Philthorpe. Can he shrug the tackle? Intercepted beautifully by Rosie. He has been everywhere. He's been a revelation since going into defence. That's another one I got right, Bickley. I called for it last year.
Well, they finished second last year. They didn't need him, but they certainly need him now.
When Houston went down, they still wouldn't do it. All right, ball out of play, cracking game, bit of fun in the top.
They would have won the flag, Kimbo, if he put him back.
Sometimes a squirrel trips over 2 nuts.
Thank you.
Ball tossed back in. The time for Adelaide, maybe. Ball bounce. Come to Walker. Too quick his handball with his teammate. Second time does well. Rankin. What can Isaac do? He can look at the goals, but he looks at his teammate. And he's marked. On the side with a second to go. Josh Rochelle, who's hardly touched it tonight, he's kicked a goal already. And you talk about big moments. I'll get it right. Budget car and truck. He can kick his second goal.
You still stuffed it up.
Doesn't matter.
No truck in there. We've said before, we've all played the game. For some reason, it's only worth 6 points, but it's demoralising on the side.
Well, let's stay with Josh Rochelle. If he kicks it, Adelaide in front. If he misses, scores will be level.
Look for the celebration.
He's 25 out. Will he bring out the teeth again? Kick on his way to goal. Have a look at Josh. Are the teeth out? No, they're not. All his teammates have got everyone around him. But at half-time, boys, this has been one of the cracker showdowns we've seen for a long, long while.
They all held his hand, so he couldn't do it.
Well, I thought maybe it opens up with 7 or 8 minutes to go, but it actually took to the last 2 or 3 minutes where just the players were exhausted. And then you looked at Rochelle there. He was 20 metres on his own inside forward 50 because it was just... Yeah, everyone's just drawn to the footy.
I thought Rankin was going to kick the goal himself, but unselfish there. Beck spotted his man.
Yeah, very good. He gets his second from almost as many touches in the first half.
If I give you 10 seconds each, the first half, Kano.
Oh, just a privilege to be here and witness another epic. Now, it's for a half a footy, but if this keeps going the way that it is going, it'll be remembered with probably 10 other showdowns as an absolute epic.
Love it, Biggs.
Yeah, just right in the balance, 5 points. It's a really even game. Both sides have had their moments, and just cannot wait for the second half.
All right, half-time here in Showdown 57, and we're here thanks to Adrian Bryan Hyundai. We love their support. Port Adelaide 7-3-45, trailing Adelaide 7-8-50, just 5 points in it in Showdown 57. We'll take a break, then we'll be back with all the stats thanks to Lodex Equipment Hire. Become a Lodex legend. They're a great South Australian company. Pop down and see the guys, Jason and Kerry. They're absolute rippers. And we'll go through all the other stats and plus have the mark of the day thanks to McGain Real Estate. We've seen some of the best marking we've seen all year. This is Showdown 57. It's the Crows by 5.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Toolkit Depot. Makita Spend and Get is on now at Toolkit Depot.
It's here. The new 7-seat Isuzu MU-X SUV. With bold lines and performance to match, the new Isuzu MU-X is our most capable family SUV ever. It'll turn heads as you tackle the daily commute and easily handle your next off-road adventure. Stylish and confident. Own it. Go your own way in the new Isuzu MU-X SUV. Visit your local Isuzu Ute dealer today.
It's where passion and skill collide.
Comes back to Declan Hamilton. This way, that way, goal!
The Host Plus Sandful League. Fierce rivalries, nothing beats it.
Here's Sharp, outside of the boot, goal!
Tune in each week for SENSA's broadcast of the Sandville match of the round.
Push towards goal. It's all about the bounce. It's going to go through. This game's not over.
Catch all the action live on SENSA, 16:29 AM and the SEN app.
At Ozito, we know for you it's about leaving your mark. With over 100 tools for your home and garden, all powered by one battery to make it happen. Because when it comes to getting things done, do it yourself. Do it with Ozito. Do you.
This end of financial year, don't just get your tax done, get your backyard done with Australian Outdoor Living's end of financial year sale. Enjoy huge savings of our custom designed and installed pergolas, verandas and decks at Australian Outdoor Living.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bull. All that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness or download the Revo Fitness app. That's revofitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
When you think of single malt Scotch whisky, you might imagine Scotland's green hills, her fresh babbling brooks, and rows of oak barrels. But you can get the same feeling right here in Adelaide when you walk down the aisles at Powell's. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf. They can guide you through Scotland's best whisky labels and the best from around the globe, all under one roof. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Powell's, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
Looking for better value home internet? Mate is your 100% Australian-owned provider with a deal that'll make South Australians cheer. Switch to Mate and save $180 over 6 months on selected unlimited internet plans with promo code MATE30. Stream your footy, movies and shows without breaking the bank. All backed by True Blue Aussie service. Choose a provider you can trust like a mate. Visit letsbemates.com.au or search Mate online to find out more. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're an employer in the building and construction industry, now's the time to employ an apprentice with fee-free TAFE construction apprenticeships. Aimed at boosting SA's workforce across the industry, you can build your team while helping an apprentice develop their skills and knowledge. Build your workforce with a fee-free TAFE apprenticeship. Search TAFE SA to find out more. This is a joint initiative of the Australian and South Australian governments. Eligibility criteria apply. RTO code 41026.
The Kia Cerato set the bar as Kia's most popular small sedan. Now, the new first ever Kia K4 raises it. Best in class, second row legroom, ultra wide screens, and a GT line that comes turbocharged. Enter Kia's biggest small sedan, the Kia K4. Small sedan, big personality. Test drive today or find out more at kia.com.au.
Kia, movement that inspires.
You're listening to the Showdown on AFL Nation. Find your next Hyundai at Adrian Bryan Hyundai.
Finlayson to half forward. Powell Pepper's been a quiet player, but he picks him up the footy and he can race away to the goals. Tries the big stamp. Round the body he goes. All about the net. Montfreeze again. Half time. Dangerous kick in. Richelli can pick it up, can go to the top. This should be a goal. Keys for the second time. He's missed. Oh, has he kicked it? Gives it up to Rosie. Rosie inside 50. Still time. Georgiades did well. It's Finlayson. He looks at the goal and he kicks it. Jeremy's back.
Just some of the highlights from the first half of Showdown 57 here at the Adelaide Oval. Welcome back. We're here thanks to Adrian Bryan Hyundai. This is the halftime show for Powell's next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield Airport. Great supporters. We love it. Our commentary team is thanks to Credit Union. Kicking goals thanks to Credit Union SA. And our experts, we love them. They're here thanks to Lumo Energy. Switch to 100% Australian-owned Lumo Energy. So much to get through. Adelaide leading by 5 points, 7-8 to 7-3. Kano, who was the best side in the first half?
Well, I think Port Adelaide, with the way that they applied themselves, was really impressive because clearly, pound for pound, Adelaide are a far more talented side, and probably if not for a little bit of inaccuracy, they'd have a bigger lead. But just thought Port Adelaide's pressure, led by their captain Connor Rosie with his offensive stuff, was pretty impressive to only trail by 5 points at halftime.
And you can tell with the crowd as well, everyone, 50,000 people here, totally invested, and you could imagine around the lounge rooms all around Australia. Hey, let's go through a few. We'll get into some stats a little bit later, but the best defenders, you wouldn't call it a defensive game though, would you?
Well, it's been a little bit easy to score. Both teams on track for nearly 100 points.
Yeah.
You don't often see that. So in terms of their ability to go forward and score, but I think the pressure around the football has been really good. I just have a look at the tackle number, pretty low. Like Port Adelaide only laid 24 tackles, but it felt like their pressure and their implied pressure, their ability to get a hand in, and same with Adelaide, was really good.
All right, the best defenders for both sides, thanks to Murray Pest Control, or the best defender on the ground, play Pest at their own game with the team from Murray's. Who's caught your eye?
Well, Rosie's been the best player on the ground for me. So he's Port Adelaide's best. Thilthorpe's been Adelaide's best with his 12 touches, 8 marks, 2 goals and 7 score involvements in the game. So if you're picking the Showdown medal right now, it'd actually be really difficult on who you would pick between those two. Maybe Thilthorpe because he's from the winning side, but those two have been clearly the standouts in tonight's game.
Now, good luck with this one because there's been so many genuine big moments in this game. It's been a ripper thanks to Budget Car Rental. Get on the road faster. Call 13 27 27. Give us a couple of your biggest.
Big moments. Well, the last goal was huge that Rankin set up for Rochelle. So in the context of the game, I just thought with a couple of minutes to go, it was so important for Port Adelaide to hold on and go in with what was momentum after the Finlayson goal. So that was a big moment, and probably that bounce as well that we saw from Pal Pepper,
Montfrees one,
which took us back to Montfrees. I thought you guys called that amazingly well, and I think if you're having a highlight reel of our radio stuff, I think that'll be played for a long time if Port Adelaide get up and win this.
Can I give an honourable mention as a big moment for Josh Worrell's rundown tackle?
That was huge as well, and it would have been Rosie's little smother on Keys as well until he turned it over with the very next play. So a couple of big defensive stuff as well.
This is a big game because of the rivalry and the quality of the football at the moment, but in terms of the ladder and the importance of another game being played at the moment, if we can get an update, and we'll go around the grounds thanks to TAFE SA, hire an apprentice with fee-free TAFE construction. What's happening in Darwin? 7
minutes and change to go in the third term of this game. The Gold Coast Suns lead by 8 points over the Western Bulldogs.
So as far as we know, I don't think they've been headed. They've been in front all night. That's thanks to TAFE SA. Fee-free, TAFE Constructions. Let's do one more, Kano, before we go to a break, and we'll hear from Mark Bickley. Who's been hot or cold? Who's your hot or cold player today, thanks to Panasonic Air Conditioning?
A couple of cold ones. I think maybe the difference between who's able to influence in the second half between Rankin and Horn Francis could decide this game. So Horn Francis was better in the second term with 6 touches, but him and Rankin, despite a couple of brief moments, have hardly been sighted.
Love it. That's thanks to Panasonic Comfort Cloud. Set your air conditioning from your phone. Half-time here at the Adelaide Oval. Showdown 57. Port Adelaide leading by 50 points. When we come back, we'll go through a lot of the stats. Mark Bickley, the GM of McGain Real Estate, he'll have the Mark of the Day nominations from the first half. This is Showdown 57. It's Adelaide leading by 5 points.
You're listening to The Showdown on AFL Nation. Find your next Hyundai at Adrian Bryan Hyundai.
364, 363, 362.
3, 2, 1. Just like that, you can skip waiting for EFS to buy a new car. Thanks to Hyundai Priefus. Jump into offers across a wide range of new and demonstrator Hyundai models, like the bold Kona, the dynamic Tucson, and the remarkable i30 sedan. Don't wait. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today. T's and C's and exclusions at hyundai.com.au.
Chasing some extra legroom and premium seats this footy season? Fans who know best choose Sixt for all their vehicle rental needs. Whether you're looking to make game day travel smoother than a handball or want to give your holiday rental car a luxury touch, we have the right vehicle for you. At Sixt, we'll have you out on the road, not stuck on the sidelines. And das ist good. So travel like a premiership player this season. Book today at sixt.com.au.
As we all know, SA is going through a housing crisis right now. But McGain Real Estate really want to help. If you're a landlord looking to sell your property, but you're feeling a bit guilty about disrupting an awesome tenant, McGain have landlords ready to purchase your property and keep that tenant in place. The team at McGain have hundreds of landlords ready to buy investment properties, so there's no need to stress about asking the tenant to move out or waiting for the lease to end. Visit mcgain.com.au.
Macca's new Tennessee barbecue burgers are now touring for a limited time. With smoky barbecue and tangy honey mustard sauce, crispy onions, and 100% Aussie beef. Grab the hit single or double Tennessee barbecue burger today. Available after 10:30am.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
If you're an employer in the building and construction industry, now's the time to employ an apprentice with fee-free TAFE construction apprenticeships. Aimed at boosting SA's workforce across the industry, you can build your team while helping an apprentice develop their skills and knowledge. Build your workforce with a fee-free TAFE apprenticeship. Search TAFE SA to find out more. This is a joint initiative of the Australian and South Australian governments. Eligibility criteria apply. RTO code 41026.
Introducing Bigfoot CL Barley, AGT's first Clearfield tolerant barley variety. Bigfoot CL offers good grain size and test weight. Get seed of Bigfoot CL for the 2025 season through AGT affiliates or local retailers today.
Hurry into Chemist Warehouse this Mother's Day and get Carolina Herrera Good Girl 80ml $149.99. Paco Rabanne Lady Million 80ml $119.99. Or Paco Rabanne Fame Intense 80ml $129.99. Chemist Warehouse, the real house of fragrances.
Toolkit Depot's Makita Spend and Get ends today. Spend $250 on Makita power tools and accessories. Get $50 back in TKD gift cards. The more you spend on Makita, the more you get back. Hurry, ends today. Only at Toolkit Depot. T's and C's apply.
Kia's most awarded SUV, the 7-seat Kia Sorento. Available in petrol, diesel, hybrid and plug-in hybrid powertrains. Fine-tuned for Australian roads and conditions for all 7 passengers. To find out more, visit kia.com.au or visit your nearest Kia dealer.
Kia, movement that inspires.
You're listening to the Showdown on AFL Nation. Find your next Hyundai at Adrian Bryan Hyundai.
Yeah, Showdown 57, absolute crack. Adelaide by 5 points, courtesy of a goal after the siren from Josh Rochelli. Mark Bickley with me. Bix, what was the mark of the first half? McGain Real Estate sold by McGain again.
I'm going to go with Asava Radigalia, who came belting across and sort of dived in front of a big pack of players that were converging on him, and he took it well above his head. Really courageous mark, and loved it. You can hear it all got out of our chair here when he took that one.
And before you go through disposals, the power play rankings for Red Energy switched to 100% Australian-owned Lumo Energy.
Well, it's interesting because I just instantly thought that Connor Rosie would be right on top. Well, he's actually coming there's 2 Crows players on 71 ranking points. That's Riley Thilthorpe and James Peatling, and then Connor Rosie on 70 points. So very, very close. But Rosie's had 21, including 14 kicks and 7 handballs. But the one that jumps off the page is Riley Thilthorpe. He's had 12 disposals, but he's included 9 marks. So imagine if he replicates that, he'll end up with 24 touches and 18 marks as a forward.
Like Rick Davies a few years ago.
And maybe 4 goals. He's got 2 in the first half, so he's had a cracking half. James Peatling maybe just snuck up on me a little bit. He's had 14 disposals. He's had 4 clearances, which is equal of anyone on the ground, but he's also had 7 tackles, so he's done reasonably well as well. And what is interesting in terms of the team statistics, the ruck contest, where we thought Riley O'Brien might have an advantage in terms of his size and his experience, he's had 19 hitouts. And Vicentini's had 16, so he's pretty much squared off. But the bonus of all of this is that Port Adelaide are on top in the clearances. They're +6 in the clearance, which is something that I wouldn't have predicted at the start of tonight.
They picked some amazing stats for players not getting the ball. If you go down the bottom, there's some players who've only had 2, 3, 4. I think Ollie Lord's had 1 possession. Isaac Cummings only had 4. Rankin hasn't been huge, but there's a lot of low possessions.
Yeah, Daniel Curtin's just had 2 touches, didn't touch the ball in that quarter. Isaac Cumming on the wing has had 4. He's played 75% at game time, but just 4 disposals. And Wayne Miller is the other one who can be quite creative. He's played 84% game time and just had the 4 touches as well. So we do understand blokes like Michael Aney and Rochelle who are, the different ends of the ground, and often you can be out of the play for a little bit. But some of those guys who play in those half-back roles and wing roles, you just expect them to be in the play a bit more. Rankin's another one. He's had 6 disposals, played 83% game time, and a lot of that has been on ball as well. So you'd be hoping for a little bit more out of him, and we just saw Jason Horne-Francis start to get involved in the game. He's on 7 disposals for the half.
Big Sam Berry would love this. This is how he loves to play these, really hard-fought contests. Would you think about bringing him in perhaps halfway through this quarter?
Yeah, I'm thinking probably someone like a Curtin who hasn't had much of an impact. And like I said, Berry's a contested player. Can play him through the middle. He can play as a high half forward as well. So he's the most likely one. If they're going to pull the trigger, it's probably around the 20-minute mark of the third quarter, just to make sure no one gets an injury before that time.
So there's a halftime show for Powell's next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield Airport. Kane Corns rejoins us. Kane, who are you tipping from here?
I think Adelaide will win. Just looking at if they've done anything with Connor Rosie, looks like Taylor's going to go and play alongside of him. We'll wait and see whether that is a shutdown role or whether Matty Nix is going to allow Connor Rosie to do as he please. But I think what decides this game is the impact between Horne-Francis and Rankin. Who has the greater impact in the second half? Their team wins.
Okay, we cannot wait for the second half. It's about to start now at halftime. Everybody excited about the game. It's one of the best showdowns. Very evenly fought. A lot of people felt Adelaide will win easily. They still may, but certainly at halftime, Port Adelaide equally as good as the Crows.
I'd be telling Riley O'Brien to actually start jumping into Vicentini. They've just been wrestling all day, and he's been able to nullify it. I'd try something different.
So Bergman on Dawson again. There's been a good move. Butters and Rankin go at it. And the big ruckman, Vicentini, he banged into Riley O'Brien. He got the first hit out. Off the ground went Dawson, a half forward, cutting it off. Well, momentarily there was Farrell. He went without it. Rosie's been in everything. And times on top of the footy, Connor Rosie. Just see the number 1 there. They had a brilliant first half.
Horne-Francis started at full forward again. He's really been pushed out from Bergman. So Bergman's taken his centre bounce minutes.
So Zach Taylor got the role. Now Ollie Wines, as we said, probably be the next 300 game player after Kane and also Boakey. Here's Sin. He's done some nice things. Goes to Butters. Butters goes back to Ollie Wines. Caught, fends off. He's at half back. Took his time now. Burton forced not to grab it, but to throw it forward, and it's going to come to a stalemate. 60 metres out from the Crows' goal, going to the northern end.
Can you believe Zach Butters, how often he doesn't handball with his non-preferred hand? He often throws it over his shoulder with his right hand when he could handball left.
Little toe poke there by Adelaide. Peatling's been okay, got a knee to that one. There's Butters trying to get a handball out. Another toe poke. That was by Isaac Cumming. Then it's been socket clear. That's fortuitous for Adelaide. Handball goes back from Millerer over towards Worrell. He goes inside 50. Walker's there. Big fist away by Sava Radagalia. Looking for the boundary line. Didn't get it. But Kazar goes for goal. He's kicked it. Well, there you go. There's the goal of the day.
No, I reckon it was touched off. It's coming out. It's out of bounds.
I think it was a goal, though.
Yeah, everyone stopped.
He has been denied 2 goals once against Sydney in that same forward
I thought
pocket.
it might have come off Ali's shin, but maybe not.
Kimbo, he denied you a great call then too.
Oh,
That's
you.
sad when it comes back, but Sin's done some good things. There's been some strange moments tonight and big moments. The ball gets whooshed back towards the wing, and there's that man again, and the running hard is Butters. Butters got guys to his left, he's got guys to his right. One's Georgiadis. That's the way he goes. Good kick to Horne-Francis. Really quiet first half. Jason turns around, kicks in the pocket, and Burn-Jones, she don't knock him down again.
Nervous Worrell. He ran into him after, and Burn-Jones tried to milk a 50.
Goes short again. Gee, what was he thinking? Well, perhaps he wasn't thinking.
Well, I was going to say, would you rather the horn dog from 50 or him in the pocket?
If you watch Horne-Francis closely, he never backs in distance. He always looks for a short option, which is strange to me considering how powerful he is, but he never trusts himself in 50.
That was awful from Darcy Burn-Jones. DBJ kicked off the back foot and put it out of bounds on the full when he could have goaled. Ball back in play though. Burton got a little dinky handball out. Intercepted. Ball still alive. Everyone at ground level. Dawson wondering. No one want to give a free kick away. The handball went from Powell Pepper to Butters. He goes into the left forward pocket. Ball at ground level. DBJ there. Keen there. Powell Pepper takes it out. We get a throw in that left forward forward pocket, outer side, River Torrens end of the Adelaide Oval, and Adelaide Oval is pumping.
Butters up to 19, so really starting to get busy, Zach Butters. So it's the two, the captain and the vice-captain, Rosie with 21, Butters with 19.
Butters 42 in the last showdown, 33 in the one before, so he's racking them up. Big smother there by Isaac Rankin. Could win the footy. He does. Left-handed handball over the top was terrible. Went to Sin. He paddled it back to Rankin. Didn't want to take possession. DBJ did. Sin gets it again, but it goes straight to the chest of Worrell. That man is becoming a real factor at AFL level.
Yeah, reads the ball so well. Growing in front of your eyes. Yeah. Just a bit dangerously. They are living dangerously this time. Worrell goes out wider looking for Walker. He was a meat in the sandwich and it goes out of play.
Yet to score. And Kano's had a little wager on him to kick 5.
He's kicked a point. Should have kicked 1.
So Bergman and Dawson, I love that matchup. Head-to-head, both wonderful players. Dawson's had a cracking year. Ball tossed in. Riley O'Brien got front position. Vicentini just holding his own, though, pretty well there. Butters on all fours, back to Sin. Sin goes for home. Out comes Horn Francis, who wants a 50-50 ball. Nankervis got it. He might get caught quickly. Got rid of it quickly. Back to Worrell. Worrell needs to spot his man in the end. Wasn't a bad kick, but it's 2-1. Put it later the 2, but the 1 did pretty well. And Neil Bullen knocks it over and out.
Boys, how good was Worrell's pickup? He's 6'5".
It wasn't a cracking handball, but he ended up getting it off his bootlaces and getting it out of bounds.
The game has changed when you have midfielders like Patrick Cripps at 6'5". They are so mobile now at this level. Ball gets thrown in on the members' wing. The Horn Dog looking to get involved. Couldn't get it. Good body work. Butters again. Too quick while he winds. Had a bad fumble. In there again. Horn Francis. Handball. Not the best one, but they'll take a ball up here.
So Horn Francis is pushed up. So he's on his own at the moment around the stoppage and Worrell's back.
All right, we'll see who gets the advantage from that. Ball thrown up again. Riley O'Brien won the tap. Now could be Port Adelaide as Wines kicks it long. Adelaide have the numbers back there, not the football. Finlayson had it, lost it. Likewise, Richards. He's been quiet. Good
Free
work
kick
there.
here off the ball. No idea what
Port
for.
Adelaide, can't tell you.
Against Keane, is it?
Yeah.
He gives away a lot of free kicks, doesn't he?
He does. You try and be patient if you're an Adelaide supporter. He's only playing his 40th game and hasn't played a lot of Australian rules, but at times he makes you very nervous.
Move the Seagulls around the back.
3 of them.
Rosie had a crack.
Goes short here. A nice pass in there and really good pass to Bergman. You're right. And 3 Seagulls looking for a crumb.
Farrell was there. Burton was there. But this guy is a big kick. So he's going to kick from 52, Kimbo. I think he's got the distance, just a matter of accuracy. That's the benefit of him playing midfield because he's so good overhead.
And he's normally very straight with his kicking.
The other good thing, though, is when players like those 3 guys you mentioned are running around the back, they need a player on them. And so generally that space that Bergman let into is where the half forwards are standing.
He's a wonderful player, Miles Bergman. What's a kick like? Oh, it's a beautiful kick. Just misses, does it?
Yeah,
flushed it too.
He kicked that 60 metres, a drop punt from outside 50 and went through half goalpost high. Point to Port Adelaide. The game has tightened up.
Yeah, well, I reckon, I can't remember Kano and Bix. It was about 15, 20-minute mark or something like that in the second term. We thought they might score 100 points both sides. It's dried up a little bit. So 46 plays 50, but it's a cracking game of footy. That ball's thrown away by Nankervis, ended up with it, went to Peatley.
Pressure. It's great pressure.
Yeah, Riley O'Brien don't handball to Ruckman. Port Adelaide might be good here. Vicentini did really well. Mead got the least hand. He got it to Burton. All the players are knackered. Lockie Jones jams it on the boot. Marking it.
Yeah, and that's what Big's called. Like with Horn Francis up around the footy, he's now on the bench, but they are allowing Worrell to be the spare, and he's a dangerous spare to have.
Yeah, and Port Adelaide doing really well defensively. Force Adelaide to kick down the line. Phil Thorpe front position. Lockie Jones couldn't get it. Ball socket off the ground. Race for pace. Back Connor Rosie wants the boundary line. Soligo was good, but the ball goes over the line. And not deliberately. We hear
he just touched it to get it over the line, but the umpire was right on it.
Been good today, Peatling.
Yeah.
So the Crows now a chance to go forward. Port Adelaide have owned the first few minutes. Ali can come from behind. Did come from behind, destroyed it. Saligo's had a quieter day by his normal good output. Burton in there. Went underground back to Radaglia. Saligo again, second effort. Here comes big Riley O'Brien. Two bodies collided. One was Powell Pepper. Ends up with Miller. Now Nankervis. Standing start. Going to kick it straight down the throat of Alia. did not look.
No.
And Port Adelaide can take it in the end, an uncontested defensive mark.
Yeah, a lot of pressure out there. Probably should have gone backwards. Had
Play
Mitch
on,
Hinge.
play on.
Yeah,
Too short.
short pass. And the umpire says play on. Port at the footy though. Jones has it. Gaines nervous. Drives it long. Good mark though, Vicentini.
Well done, son. You can't play on for a mark.
No, you can't. The umpires have lost the plot. It goes to Finlayson.
Unless it was a free kick.
He must have played too high.
Cool head in a crisis. Have a look at this. That was beautifully done by Finlayson. It gets to DBJ on the first bounce. Big smother. Brilliant smother. That was by Worrell again, I think.
What a quarter he's having.
Wow. The desperation. I don't think we're going to see a lot of goals, boys.
No, it's closed up, hasn't it?
What was that? Deliberate or what?
No, I think it was on Power Pepper.
Come on. That little tap to the chest. The umpires are soft.
Okay, here's a chance for the Crows to rebound as Mark Keane.
Let the players play.
Keane's kick wasn't great. Chopped off there by Rosie again.
50, that's 50.
Oh, dear.
Oh, that's a goal. Listen to the crowd.
I'm not sure he was in the... I reckon he's about 10 metres away.
They're coming to Isaac Rankin and pushing Isaac Rankin out of it.
Just let me rant for a minute. Why does the AFL change things mid-season? Just because Brad Scott complains, they change it to the point we are seeing 50s everywhere. Like that was play on at the start of the year.
He came off his line.
You can't change the rules mid-year, and they do it time and time again because some coach complains.
It's a joke.
Well, Connor Rosie certainly stamped his flag tonight. He's been outstanding from go to woe. They've got no answer, and Rosie pops it over the goal umpire's hat. And Port Adelaide are back in front. What a game of footy. They won't go away. They've come here to play. And they want to win this game to keep their season well and truly alive.
Yeah, I'm going to have a rant too. Look, we say it all the time. I'm not blaming the umpires. I blame the AFL. Constantly changing interpretations. We saw the ridiculous dissent rule a few years ago. It is farcical. I said before, Bix, let the play. No, you don't like bagging umpires. I'll go to Kane. No. Let the players play. We come to see the players.
So we've just seen, and this is both ways, mind you. Like the Power Pepper little touch to Hinge.
Ridiculous.
The Butters little trip to Rankin, and this. So 2 goals at least from those decisions.
Well, there's 3 50-metre goals so far.
And just let the players decide who's the best team. Like,
exactly.
It's just the frustration for me.
So you watch Rosie. There he goes. He goes around off your mark.
Yeah.
So
he thought he played on. Yeah.
Matthew Nicks had to walk out of the box after that decision.
Well, as soon as you take one
replay.
step sideways, the play on.
Yeah. Hey, we've always had rules. They just... Oh, anyway. Back to the action because it's a cracking game of footy. Hopefully they won't interfere with the game anymore. The Horn Dog. Beautiful. Hammer went out the back door. Trying to get it to Butters. Miller was really good. Got it appealing. Just got a kick away. He kicked it.
He definitely kicked it.
Oh, the umpires are cracking under the pressure of what is a cracking game. Port Adelaide go into attack. Front position. Keane dropped his head. Ball goes down the ground level. Power Pepper kicks a goal. Port Adelaide go back.
It was a big hit on Keane's just been flattened.
It was by Richards.
It was a millimetre in front of the umpire. The umpire's just waved it away.
Wow. Unless it's a free kick back in the centre.
It has to be. He's running towards the centre now. But so Keane was appealing for a free kick, and he had his hands out. He thought he was impeded, and then the Port Adelaide player, I think it's Richards, do you? Just ran
I thought it was Richards.
And just hip and shouldered him when he wasn't looking and knocked him off his feet.
So what is happening now, because there was a free kick because a player was touched before Hinge in the chest. Now Blake's been knocked over and it's no free kick.
Wow.
It's bloody ridiculous.
It's Port Adelaide though.
It's a great goal and a great crumb from Power Pepper.
Second one.
So Port's biggest lead of the night. They lead by 8 points. They've kicked the last couple of goals after the Rochelle goal, after the siren to half-time. Riley O'Brien needs lift. They've got a few quiet players Adelaide at the moment. They're under the pump. Here's a chance. Peatling's been good.
Oh, that's on the ball.
He's got him again.
No prize.
That's got to be holding the ball.
Oh, gee, I agree. I thought
that's holding the ball all day, every day. Have a look at it.
What a game.
So Ruck's got it again. Butters. He might not have 42 tonight, but he's influential. And Port Adelaide go forward again. George Jar's won a free kick. Ollie Lord gets caught, throws it away. Gee, it's tough there in the clinches of the moment. But Port Adelaide appear to hold most of the aces.
Yeah, at the moment they're up and about and the crowd's getting involved as well. This is unbelievable atmosphere here at the Adelaide Oval. It's happening on AFL Nation. Showdown 57. Kimble and David Wildy. Mark Bickley, Kane Corns. How good would it be to be out there? Kick off the side of the boot. Adelaide panicking now. Taken by Burgoyne. He plays on quickly. Goes to the pocket. All by himself, the Horn Dog. How can it happen? I tell you, he won't miss. 25 metres out around the body. He won't know.
Kimbo.
Bread and butter, Kano.
Not to my boy. Don't do that to me. You've done that deliberately.
No, I haven't.
You've done that deliberately, but you're right. Not sure how he bobbed up in 20 metres of space.
I tell you, I never do this because I'm so particular. I'm writing it down already. Around his
Kimbo,
body from here.
You've doubled down on it.
Yeah. The king of double down. No, he'll kick it, surely.
No,
he's missed.
That's a disgrace.
I did not do that.
That is a disgrace.
I did not do that.
You did that.
I did not.
Have a word to him, can you?
Yeah, he's a Crows footballer.
Have a couple of minutes off.
I'm in the sin bin.
You've been doing this for too long.
How do you miss that?
Sit out for a couple of minutes. Here they go again. Adelaide can't get in their forward line. Port Adelaide have been outstanding, really good. Ball to ground. We need some of the Crow players to lift some of the so-called stars up. Getting in touch of it. Rosie's been outstanding. Mark dropped under pressure. Every possession Crows gets under enormous pressure. Port Adelaide look like they haven't eaten for a week. They're like rabid dogs.
Well, just the entries in this quarter, 11-3. You're right. Now, the damage hasn't quite been done. 2 goals, 2 to no score from Adelaide's. They've only had 3 entries, so they're dominant. Contested possession plus 10, clearances plus 5. They're all over them, but probably need one more goal in this passage for the proper reward.
Yeah, they need Dawson, they need Rankin, they need Saligo. Farrell, he cocked it up to Taylor. We call Dawson, he's got a man out wide.
That's terrible.
It's a shocking kick. He had the man out wide, and Michele missed everything. Put on the rebound, now to Bergman.
He's been awful, Dawson.
Bergman and half back. They look the better side at the moment. They're running on top of the ground, and Farrell's got the footy.
And they just got a bit of strut about him now and a bit of composure.
Richards on 50 with no one on him. Is he brave enough?
I can see it. Laird was going in that direction. Laird gets to the front of the pack. Big fist away, goes down towards Nankervis. In turn, Rankin. This is risky. And Burgoyne picks it up. He's wrapped up in a tackle by Rochelle. We've got a goalkeeper back there. It's Josh Russell, that man. They'd be 5 down without him. He kicks long back to the members. Riley O'Brien needs to do something. No one front and centre. Horndog nearly got it. Goes in again, head first. Can't be a free kick there. He led with the head.
Like risky in his own behalf, wasn't it? I think he's just got to be a bit smarter than that, Horn Francis. Like that was high risk for no reward.
Yeah, they're trying to draw the free kick. Well, a lot of players do it nowadays. Free kick in the ruck.
Big side get Berry on now, I think, just to get a fresh big body in there. Philthorpe hasn't seen it this time. The 2 defenders work beautifully.
They lost all shape, Adelaide.
Oh, look out. Alair, Radicalair. Now they've turned it over. Nice mark that are coming. He's been really quiet. The GWS boy kicked it 8 metres. That's going to be play on, surely. No, they make some mysterious decisions, the umps. Here's a chance now for Nankervis. Crows have hardly had it inside their forward 50. Short ball again now, should take and go. And he does. Isaac Rankin. Rankin should kick the goal, but he doesn't. He puts it up to the head of the square. Philthorpe! He's too big. He's too strong. He's a colossus. He's gigantic. And he could be the one man that gets Adelaide back into the game. Because
Rankin was having a shot.
Yeah, went up the side.
Fortunately, Philthorpe was all alone with Ryan Burton in the goal square. That's his 5th contested mark.
This is against the flow.
What's he kick, Riley? 2 goals, 2. Make it 3-2. Gee. And Kane, after complete domination from Port Adelaide, took it down the other end and score.
It's always the risk.
What about the shot at goal where, I'm not sure which Port player it was, dribbled the kick along the ground and there's a bloke standing in the goal square.
Pepper,
why wouldn't you kick the ball 30 metres in the air and have a shot when you're 25 metres out? Jason Dunstall would be cataclysmic.
Maybe he didn't see him. Maybe he didn't see him.
Maybe, but anyway, just kick it, halfway up the goalpost, just in case there's someone in the goal square.
Good point.
And a lot of shots for goal to the left of the radio dial that are going to the right. I can assure you there is no breeze. There is no breeze. Yeah. Players kicking across their body, and that was fortuitous for Adelaide, and as we mentioned, against the flow of play. Adelaide trailing by 3 points. Port Adelaide leading on the Revo Fitness. Smash your goals with Revo Fitness. You can end up with guns like Kano and a firm backside like Mark Bickley. Ball back centre field. He's got Duck's disease. Horndog gets the ball. Could be in for a big second half. Came out to Butters. He in turn finds Burgoyne. In front of the AFL Nation commentary box, a little bit of indecision. Now puts it down the line. Oh, that was well done by Hinge. He was running the wrong way, put his hands in the air and they hit the back of his fist. He's been really quiet. Brady Smith would be singing the Shannon Noel song, What About Me?
Yeah, it isn't fair. Now up they go again. Down Bergman's done some nice things. Works it in the hot spot for Port Adelaide. Right full forward pocket. Georgiades overran the footy. They sneak it back out towards the 15-metre, but Horne-Francis has a shot on goal. Cross the face it goes, pushing and shoving. And touch before it goes out of bounds. Willem Drew provided a nice contest.
Good result for Port.
Yeah, they've got it locked in. They've dominated. They've owned this quarter, but they only lead by 3 points.
Let's have a look at some of the Lodex Equipment Hire stats. It's Rosie on 25, Butters 23, Josh Worrell, the leading Crow, with 17.
Up goes Phil Thorpe. He's been fantastic for Adelaide. Burn-Jones runs to the boundary, tried to keep it in. Did keep it in, they said. Snaps across the face of goal and it goes out of play. No, it doesn't. It sneaks in for a minor score. He looked to be out by about 2 metres.
Well, his body was out, but he was like a waiter holding a tray about a metre off his body.
In fairness, we are 200 metres away.
Just keeping it in.
All right, the pass comes out to Hinge, the player you were talking about, Big Willie. He gets on that natural left, drives it down. Walker's been quiet, created a contest. Got a little hammer kick away, but it went straight to Jones. So that was poor. His kick was smothered. Taken there by Curtin. Got it to the feet of Walker. Normally finds somebody. Makes it hard for Rochelle. He used his body well, though. Asava Radagalair provided a contest. Jones was good. Handball went over the top. Gave it to a ruckman. They should get out of trouble. Maybe. Burgoyne. Great evasive skills. Put Wines under pressure, but he's a Brownlow medalist. He gave it to Jones. Jams it on the boot, and the mark's taken by the skipper in Dawson, who needs to lift in this last quarter and a bit.
I can see Berry out there, so they've pulled this up.
Come on, moves Curtin. We'll keep an eye on that. The ball back towards half foot. They're breaking down Banning. Visitini, the young man, game number 7, did really well. Put Adelaide off the half-back flank. Kick to the wing. Kick. Good mark there, Butters. He may earn that.
Don't hold your head. He didn't hit you on the head.
So Zach Butters, he could well have another Showdown medal. Port can get up and win. He's been outstanding night again.
No.
Turnover.
It was a good kick too.
Both teams make mistakes. Berry's first possession since coming on. Nice handball through the gap. Ivan Needle slipping over there was Fogarty, but he picks up and he goes to a man all on his own. Should be Keys. It will be Keys. And Keys marks 20 metres out from goal. Directly in front, he wants 50, he won't get it.
See, the Butters kick was the right kick. He had 2 Port players in board, but they both fought for the same uncontested mark. And then it was the turnover and the kick from Fogarty. Oh, that's just so smart. That's a forward kicking to a forward. Just identified where the space was and said to Benny Keys, you go get it.
I tell you, Keys had one of those nights. He's missed. Yeah. He's kicked the goal. He had one taken off him. One out on the full.
It just feels like Adelaide shouldn't be in front, but they will be if they kick it.
The one thing he has done is worked really hard on his set shot goal kicking, which has been really good.
Oh, kiss of death, Bickley.
Benny Keys kick. No, Bix can't put him off. That's a great kick. And Adelaide answer because they've been under the pump big time this quarter. It's been a fantastic game. Showdown 57. It's goal for goal. And the Crows just sneak it in front by 2 points.
Well, they've been really good off turnover tonight. Now, part of it has been helped by some really poor skill execution, and that was basic. But that's almost... Well, a 12-point turnaround because Port Adelaide would have marked the ball 70 metres out from goal and gone into a even-numbered forward line, but they turned it over because 2 players couldn't communicate. And Fogarty's brilliant. It's been pretty good tonight, Darcy Fogarty. Started well, has drifted out of the game a little bit, but he's a good field kick.
Big Cease was a handball, the little sneaky.
That was Neil Buller. Neil Buller just shredded the eye of the needle, put it through. There's been 8 lead changes since quarter time. So. And 9 for the match, but it's just been a seesawing event as Adelaide get their nose back in front.
Adelaide lead by 2 points on the Revo Fitness scoreboard. Berry is into the middle. He's picked up Horne-Francis. It's taken by Peatling. Another clearance to Berry. Played about 60 games now. Starting to find his mojo. That's a marker there.
Brilliant.
Bounced off his left pectoral and he completed the mark about 5 metres further down the track. Brings it out laterally, back to the members' side, finds Burgoyne, normally a really good user.
They've just defended so well. Port Adelaide have had 13 entries for just 2 goals in this term.
Short pass is a good one, finds Wines. He's on his bike straight away, gives it to Jones. This is when we get nervous. Helicopter kick, inside 50. Keane had it, lost it. Good work there by Lord. Socket off the ground, fortuitously for Adelaide. Now a pass. Underground pass went to Rankin. Sweeping handball out wide on the outer side. Keys one way, when the other had his head ripped off, picked up the free kick. Will they try and control the footy? They go out wide, they find Walker all by himself. Crowd give him a bit of stick. That familiar kicking style, he's normally brilliant. Getting a hand on it there was Bergman. See, that was brilliant. The ball goes out of play. That was going to be a mark to Neil Bullen.
Just confirming Dan Curtin is the player for Adelaide has been sub.
Well picked up, Willie.
Called that at half-time. 22 minutes gone. There's only 5 minutes left of real time.
All right,
cracking game of footy.
Who gets on their bike here, boys?
Well,
Where's Rankin?
Adelaide are hanging in there, aren't they? Vicentini's been good. Fogarty's been good. Radically got to the Farrell. Farrell over his left shoulder, kicks back towards the wing. Riley O'Brien can't take it. G. Michaeline's been quiet tonight. Peatling should have been a free kick, not paid. Coming through there was Laird. Slam dunk. Umpire let it go, but letting a lot go at the moment. Incredible. Laird's just screwed his head back on. Here's a chance for the Crows. Keys. He's bobbing up everywhere like a sprinkler. Taylor in front of the pack. Can't take the mark. Lockie Jones really good. Horn Francis are all coming in from all angles. Cracking game of footy.
There was a free kick played in the Sydney and Essendon game where a player was just taking the ground. It looked like a normal tackle and it was paid as a dangerous tackle. That one there, the player was smashed.
That was a shocking decision in the Essendon-Sydney game. Ball gets cleared, goes into the middle of the ground. First player there. Beautiful pick-up by Ollie Lord. Handball not great though. Now Curvis has it. He gives it to Laird. Not the best at hitting targets. Puts it to a one-on-one. Mark's taken by Fogarty. Well, you'd back the Fog in a body contest against Kane Farrell, and it ended up being a really good kick.
Well, 19 goals for Kimbo this year.
I'm not saying I've been banned.
Well, Bick's got his home last time.
I'm not saying Kane, you can call it.
Well, he had a sider from here and kicked it out on the full earlier, and then there was a free kick from Butters, and then that got in the 50-metre and on the goal line.
He's taken 8 contested marks in their forward 50.
I was the kiss of death earlier in the first term. I said he can't keep slotting him from these angles.
Back him in.
No, I'm not saying anything. He lines up.
Back him in! Back him in!
He is the best kick in Australia, I think. If he's not, he's in the grand final. Adelaide go to an 8-point lead. Don't panic, Port supporters. This has been toing and froing all evening.
So, Port Adelaide kicked 2 late in actually, we'll start from the second quarter. It was Port, then it was Adelaide, then it was Port, then Adelaide kicked 2, then Port kicked 2, and Adelaide got 1 on the siren of half-time from Rochelle. Port bounced out to a 7-point lead. They hit the first 2 goals of this game, or this quarter, and then Adelaide have kicked the last 3 goals from the 16-minute mark. So, what a seesawing event it's been. It's just been great footy, toing and froing, and just little nuances, players playing really well, and Fogarty has had a great 5 minutes.
Mark Bickley, thanks to Lumo Energy. Take us through the midfield, Kano.
Yeah, so Horn Francis is back in there with Drew. Vicentini's been great, but has hardly had a rest, and Butters is in there. Saligo looks like Berry, and also Peatling for the Crows.
And Gold Coast going to win the game against the Bulldogs, up by 27 points late in that game, so terrific performance of the Gold Coast Suns. Here go Port Adelaide again. Will they answer?
Butters.
2-on-1 here, down back. Comes over the back of the pack. It was all about the bounce. Who gets it? Miller. They got him quickly. Takes possession. Won't be holding the ball. You'd think it won't be. So Crows will get numbers back. Congested forward line. Port going to the southern end. There's 3 minutes of real time left. Plenty of time for both teams to score. Pushing and shoving again. Butters wanted the free kick. Doesn't get it. Goes hard after the footy again. It's really hot football as we speak. And finally, the Sharon wobbles over and out. About 35 out from the power goal right half forward flank.
Radaglia has allowed Sin to pick up Taylor Walker. They got a +1 back there. Rosie comes back onto the ground after a quick spell. Be interesting how Adelaide can get out of here, or if in fact Port Adelaide will get a crack at goals. Ball thrown in about 40 metres away from goal. Vicentini front position, crashing his way through. Was it a high tackle? Butters.
Gee, he looked high.
Gee,
umpire was just unsighted, but there's
on the move, didn't he?
A couple of other umpires out there as well.
Hard and low he went. Peatling is alongside him at the moment. Vicentini's really doing well. Trying to get it to Horn Francis, close to the boundary line. Berry takes him over the line. He looks like he can be a good footballer, Berry. He's teased us for a while. Sometimes.
Good move bringing him on, I think.
Yeah,
he loves this.
I agree. It's going to get dirty now.
Yeah, it's been, as we said, we keep saying about one of the great games of the year.
Down to 2.5 minutes, Willie.
Ball tossed it again. Vicentini's held his ground today, done really well. Butters got caught by Peatling, but he got rid of it. Crows just bang it on the leg up towards the wing. Lockie Jones had it, lost it. Coming through Radaglia, had one arm impeded. She's tough once again. Real battle at the moment. They're fighting a good fight here. Port Adelaide, as Willem Drew picks it up. Hacks it towards half forward. No marker to Finlayson. Coming through there was Richardson being quiet. Off the ground went Horn Francis. Gets it back. Horn Francis shot on goal. Is it coming? Terrific kick. An amazing kick. Jason Horn Francis. Something out of nothing. You can't keep him down for too long. That is one of the goals of the year.
That's dearie me. I thought you said Adelaide had the numbers.
Get stuffed.
They did. They had 3. What about Kane? He didn't kick around the body kick. He kicked a drop punt.
It's amazing.
Take us through this.
I haven't seen a better goal. Look, it's 4-on-1. 1, 2, 3. Adelaide, but he just toe pokes it. Gets bumped, but somehow the ball came in his hand. That reminded me of Darren Jarman. You know, when the ball just sort of just comes to him somehow?
Well, he actually kicked it into the leg of Michael and it bounced straight into his hands. He kicked a goal.
2 possessions.
Didn't realise that it just rolled up and all of a sudden he had hold of the footy. He put his toe out to try and soccer it and then it was in his hands and then he just had a remarkable finish. What a star he is.
Goal of the year? I haven't seen a better one. I don't think.
Terrific.
That is a chance. Well, we seem to be getting red time goals and there's about 2 minutes remaining.
2:13.
Yeah,
Kimbo.
get the feeling something special could happen again. AFL Nation, Showdown 57, should be Friday nights going around the world live. Vicentini tried to sock it off the ground. Joey Richards was there. Miller gets quick hands. Don't give it to a ruckman. He hacks it off the ground fortuitously. It went out to Keys. Now they kick down the line. Courtesy of Nan Curtis looking for Walker. Hassan has been good. He's been huge the last 2 quarters on Walker. And the big Texan is yet to kick a goal, I think.
Yeah, he's
1
been pretty
point.
quiet tonight.
Kano gave him the kiss of death, backed him to kick 5 goals. Reverse psychology.
Port Adelaide with their nose in front. What is it, 68 to... Oh, I have that in front. We'll check that score. There's only 2 points in. Here they go. It's Farrell. There's still time. Farrell up. Only lone man back waiting there was Rory Laird. Read it well. He's had a good year, Rory. He's had a good 10 years. Little short ball.
It's a good decade.
Roll the dice.
Not a good week, a good decade. I agree with that. Here they are rolling the dice. It's come up 6. Because Ben Keys has got it. Keys now just kicks it inside the forward 50. They need a mark. Up goes Phil Thorpe. Down goes Phil Thorpe. And he grabs it again, the big fella. Geez, nimble down low. Here's a chance there for Butters. Butters had it, lost it, almost got it back. And he does get back.
That's deliberate.
Falls it? No.
Oh, that was as deliberate as the other one. Look at Zach Butters. Have a look at this.
Tell you what it was clever because he kicked the ball into the ground.
That was deliberate.
Absolutely.
And it was awkward and it was obvious.
Is it time, Kim? A minute left?
Yeah, there's always time. The way the game's played nowadays, but they go back towards the boundary line. So we'll get another boundary throw in on the outer side. 30 minutes and 23 seconds gone in the third term. Adelaide leading by 2 points on the Revo Fitness scoreboard from only $9.89 per week. You could look like David Wildy. The biceps of that man is unbelievable for an 87-year-old. Ball thrown in on the outer side. Cracking game of football.
Backhanded compliment that one. Ball back in the centre. Just looking Taylor Walker, 287 games. He's going to do something. You just know he's going to pop up. Still a quarter to go. Will he get 300 bigs?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, we reckon Ollie Wines will. The ball back towards Georgiades. Butts has done a good job this quarter. Diving attempt. There's still time. Adelaide with a footy.
38 seconds.
And now they're Berry. Berry's not aware of the man behind him, but he does it nicely to Walker, the man we spoke about. The Texan, 80 metres out from goal. Nice kick too. He's going to find Cumming. Cumming's got a man inside. What's he doing?
He's looking at the bench.
Turn your back.
It's 25 seconds left. He won't get the carry. I don't think he'd get the distance.
Never turn your back.
Gee.
He's trying to work out how long to go.
Well, they've got the signs up here.
He didn't want to play
He'd
on.
want to kick it, Bix. Because he had a man inside. He could have passed
to. Going to go right as he kicks at the siren.
Isaac Cumming, the former Giant, boy from North Adelaide, goes round the man. Oh, and he's not going to get the carry. So the game is really, really tight. Adelaide with their nose in front, just 10-8-68 to 10-6-66, a cracking game.
Showdown 57, it's an absolute ripper. This is why we come to the football. We're here thanks to Adrian Bryan Hyundai. Port Adelaide trailing by 2 points. It's their home showdown. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have all the stats thanks to Lodex Equipment Hire. Become a Lodex legend. And our experts, courtesy of Lunamo Energy, 100% Australian owned, will categorically tell you who will win this game.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Revo Fitness from only $9.69 per week.
You've reached Jimbo. I'm currently road tripping up the coast. Leave a message.
Jimbo, it's Monty. In a bit of a pickle, and I could really use your Hilux. I promised this Ludwig guy I'd help move his grand piano. Turns out it's $2,000 for my ute. The thing weighs a heap. Anyway, if you wouldn't mind making a detour, I'd love to get this thing to the Opera House ASAP. Call me back?
Don't send a ute to do a Hilux job. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles' famous once-a-year May Mayhem is the biggest and best ever. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. That's right, spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Don't miss the biggest and best National Tiles May Mayhem event of all time. So rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
In footy, you've got one guarantee each week. It's not the win or loss. It's not the coach's spray. And it's not the cry of... It's the 4 and 20 pie. That classic taste of 100% Australian meat in delicious gravy wrapped in golden pastry. Like coming back to win from 10 goals down. Nothing beats the aroma and taste of a 4 and 20 pie. There's a win in every bite. 4 and 20, Australia's original fan food.
Any parts, any automation technology, any factory, warehouse, machine building, anything manufacturing. NewTek are your specialists in pneumatic and automation. But why should you care? Put simply, NewTek will save your company money, reduce costs and increase the throughput of your machinery. Spelt PNEUTECH. Call and challenge NewTek to demonstrate today. newtek.com.au. That's PNEUTech.com.au.
We see you out at Golden Grove watching the match from inside your car. Those kids keep you busy and keep growing. That's why our Credit Union SA mobile lending managers come to you, even here, to help you understand how a bigger home can fit within your goals. Free property reports and flexible payment options are all part of the home ground advantage. Keep your money close to home with Credit Union SA. We see you, South Australia. Conditions, fees and lending criteria apply and are available on request.
Unique, loyal, fun-loving. That's what we look for in our pals. When you're next spending time with your best friends, don't forget some of the best pals you can have. Parafield Airport Liquor Store has your everyday favourites right through to those hard-to-find products. That's what great pals do. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf, so you can always rely on their advice. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Pals. Next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
Ugh, that's enough to send shudders down anyone's spine. Did you know termites cause more damage to Adelaide and Australian homes each year than fire and flood combined? That's over $1 billion. But there's a simple solution. Start with visual termite inspection from SA's leading pest control specialists. Your team from Murray's.
No worries with the team from Murray's.
Go to murraypestcontrol.com.au.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bull. All that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness or download the Revo Fitness app. That's revofitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
You're listening to the Showdown on AFL Nation. Find your next Hyundai at Adrian Bryan Hyundai.
Pressure of what is a cracking game. Port Adelaide go into attack. Front position, Keane dropped his head. Ball goes down the ground level. Power Papa kicks a goal. Port Adelaide go back. He puts it to a one-on-one. Mark's taken by Fogarty. He lines up.
Back him in. Back him in.
He is the best kick in Australia, I think.
No market of Finlayson. Coming through there was Richardson being quiet. Off the ground when Horn Francis gets it back. Horn Francis shot on goal. Is it coming? Terrific kick. Get stuffed. Amazing kick.
As Bill would say, a It's all happening here. Just some of the Maccas I'm loving at moments. The new AFL Happy Meals is now available at Maccas. Three-quarter time here at the Adelaide Oval. It's the Crows by 2 points. Big game at the Gold Coast.
Yeah, Kane might have gone early. Bulldogs kicked 4 quick goals. What's the latest there?
Well, they're only up by 3 points now because they've kicked the last 4. Bontempelli's had a huge night by the looks of it. Game on as the ball goes inside forward 50 for the Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah, nice commentating then. Yeah, could have called it. It was Johnny Noble that took it in there, Kano. Ball back centre field, opening bounce of the final term. This is AFL Nation Showdown 57. Thanks to Adrian Bryan Hyundai. David Wildy.
Yeah, 30 minutes left for both teams. Who's going to win Showdown 57 and claim the honours today? As we said, it's been a magnificent game of footy. Hope you enjoy it. Footy on SEN, here we go again. Riley O'Brien hacked it forwards, had a great battle with Vicentini. Lockie Jones came out, Walker wraps him up.
Horne-Francis back at full forward where he started each of the quarters.
So who's picking him up down there? It is Michael Annie. So Crows now, first goal was, I think, critical in this final quarter, just really eased the nerves. Power Pepper came off his line, picked up very quickly.
Butters is cramping already, which is not a great sign.
And the logic with the Horne-Francis move is to get a quick clearance and get him in a one-on-one, but they haven't won a clearance.
It's another avenue to goal as well.
Yeah.
And with Bergman playing more inside minutes, he's the one that's been pushed out.
Buried it coming. 50-50 ball.
Well done, young fella.
They want a young Moraes who's come on. Power Pepper dropped it. They didn't ping him on the ball. Players come in from all angles there. It's not going to come out. They sit on top of it. Umpire says my ball. Right in the heart of the Adelaide Oval.
Who wins, boys?
I'm going to stick with Crows.
I think Adelaide win.
Yeah. The tall forwards don't get any shorter. I reckon they'll take a couple of marks.
All right, well, it's going to be a cracker. Socket off the ground. It goes up to centre half forward. Clean bowls everyone. Walker had it. Play for a free kick. Umpire wouldn't buy into it. In comes the cavalry. Over the top of it was Pete. No, it was Cummings. Couldn't take it, though. Berry running up and down on the same spot. Big effort shoulder from Worrell on Butters. Butters still gets the footy, but he handled it straight to Laird. He gave it to Cummings. He gave it to a teammate that said, get stuffed. I was in no position to take it.
Butters is really sore. They're coming to the bench too.
Oh yeah, Corky, I think.
So this is a big.
And only a minute in too, Kane.
He's got to get some treatment to get back on. He looks out on his feet, firstly cramping and then involved in a huge collision.
Tough as tungsten though, he'll be back.
So one ball goes off, another comes on Ollie Wine. Sligo's had a quiet night tonight. He works up towards Fogarty. Diving in attempt, couldn't complete the mark. Wine's got it high. Umpire said no, it's out on the full.
Did he handball it into the foot of...
Should have got a free kick.
Yeah, I think got hit high, so...
Into the foot of Taylor. I think it's a clever play. It's like the old basketball move when you throw it into your opponent.
Keep us up to date with the Bullies game there, Kane. The ball along the wing. Dawson.
Dawson's gone to half back.
Got the Sligo towards Walker. Taylor Walker's fended off. He loves this situation.
No, panic.
But not that time. He's going to get a second behind. Normally you'd back him from anywhere, but not that time. First score goes to Adelaide. They lead by 3 points.
Well, that was perceived pressure. He knows he's not the quickest. He had all the time in the world. He could have spotted up someone up forward in Rankin.
A minute to go in Darwin. 56 seconds, in fact. Gold Coast lead by 3 points. Boundary throw in, 70 around from Gold Coast goal.
All right, so Gold Coast looking in the driver's seat there. Ball comes out from Farrell, goes to the members' wing. Everyone's up high. Vicentini did well. Done well, the young fella. He's a real competitor. We'll have a throw in by the interchange gates on the offensive side for the Adelaide Football Club. And it's Adelaide leading by 3 points in Showdown 57.
Yeah, gripping game of footy, Kimbo. It really is. It's lived up to all expectations, though maybe most expectations was Adelaide will win easily. It was not going to be an easy win. It's going to go right down to the wire. Ball on neutral territory. Keep an eye on Butters too, because that could be a big out if he can't get back on. We know he's a tough customer. Shelley's been quiet. He's on the boundary as well. Kicked a couple of goals, but hasn't done much else.
And they've already activated their sub. McAtee's been subbed out.
So Rosie couldn't keep it in. Boundary umpire.
Game over in Darwin.
Gold Coast by 3.
Ben King's going to kick after the siren to make it 9.
Okay.
Big win for the Suns. They got Hawthorn up there next week.
They play well up there. Their record is brilliant. 10-9 to 10-6. Big man fell over. Vicentini knocks it 25 metres forward. Crows wanted the free kick. None forthcoming. Hinch trying to get a rugby try. Went over the line, but it's going to get tossed back in. Power Pepper also out there.
Just wonder if the umpires will put the whistle away a little bit. There's been some weird free kicks. They went early on a few.
You like the Bergman-Dawson duel? Or
Yeah, it's been good. Something different as well.
Yeah, it's a good move by Kenny. I thought he might have gone to defence, but he's still on the ball. Dawson and Bergen's alongside of him. Horne-Francis just sheer power. Kept it in, collected it, kicked around his body. At ground level was Hind, had the ball. Handball went out to Soligo. Oh, he took on Horne-Francis. Wouldn't advise that. The ball goes to Walker. That was more good luck than good management. The Texan needs to use it well. He drives it in. They got a 2-on-2. Jones went through strongly. Ball at ground level, though. The cavalry gets back there. Picked up by Burton. Cool head. Got it to Farrell. Kicks out wide on a one-on-one. Huge ball. You heard it. Butts, I forgot he was out there against Georgiades. Gave it to Keane. Now it goes back to Laird. Adelaide go back into attack. Dilthorpe couldn't take it. Rankin had it. Dilthorpe got it. Ball comes back to Fogarty. And he kicks a goal.
How's the contest from Dilthorpe? There was two big men down there for Port Adelaide. He doesn't get outmarked. He brings it to the front, and that was the origin of that goal.
He's got 3, Fog?
3.
Yep. That's what you call him. You called Fogarty 3 and Dilthorpe 4, didn't you?
Something like that.
And Butts was terrific. I mean, he was against a younger, more nimble opponent. But he just won the big one-on-one out on the wing, which set up that goal and the re-entry after Port Adelaide had done pretty well to defend at ground level. But this is the issue. Bix called it at three-quarter time, just the danger of Adelaide's forwards. If they get enough opportunities, there's too much class inside that forward 50 for the Crows.
Kane Corns there for Lumo Energy, 100% Australian owned.
Butter's still off. After the goal, you would have thought if he was okay, they would have got him back on. So that's a big story with Zach Butters.
What do you think it is?
I think had a look. They were doing his calves.
Cramp and the corky.
Okay, so next goal critical now. Can Port get it back? Richards has been quiet today. Works to the burn. Jones takes the mark. 60 out from goal. Fires a little short. Ball's good in the end. It's been marked by Ollie Wines.
He's not kicking that.
No. Needs to go short somewhere.
Ollie went to handball.
Play on.
Now he's called to play on.
There it
Goes
is.
short. Kick was good.
No,
too short, Jarvis. Was it too short?
Didn't play it.
Rosie caught almost by Taylor. They kick up just inside Port's attacking 50. Neil Bullen grabs it.
No.
He too goes out wide, Rosie. Takes the markers as just wait. Now he goes forward. Kicks up towards the big men. No one can take the mark. Over, I think there was Moraes. Gee, In's got hit. Going in willy-nilly. It's a tough game of footy these days. It really is.
Tell you what, incredible pressure.
Butters looking like he's going to come back on, so that's the good news.
Wild horses could not hold him back in, I tell you. He is always going to get out there. He is a beauty, and he'll love the big moments. Ball thrown in, right forward pocket, northern end of Adelaide Oval on the outer side. AFL Nation, Showdown 57. Crows leading by 9 points. It's been a ring-a-ding-ding game, as Louis would say. And the ball goes up high, and the mark's been taken by Butts.
Yeah, Big Jordan.
Yeah, Big Jordan. That had a lot to do, but
This is not his strong suit, is it?
Oh, no, not that. He goes the short pass, play on. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Whoa. Mark taken by Michael Annie.
Take a breath, Kimbo. Michael Annie at half back. He goes short. That's a nice kick. Spear pass. Fogarty's been good, presented well tonight. Kicked 3 goals.
Riley O'Brien.
He's a beautiful kick. Riley O'Brien lurking back, the big man. Oh, he took it too. Handball to Rankin. Is this Isaac's moment? Is it his moment? Yes, it is. Terrific play, Isaac. Well done, Riley O'Brien. Well done, Jordan Butts. They all combined beautifully. Won the goals of the night. And Adelaide gets some breathing space. Mark Bickley.
Well, it's one of the few times Adelaide have gone D50 to goal. Like that, they went the whole length of the ground. So it was a mark inside defensive 50. Then it was 4 uncontested marks. And Riley Dilthorpe was really good. He protected the back of Riley O'Brien. Riley O'Brien knew his limitations. As soon as he marked it, he had Rankin scooting past. And he just put the foot on the afterburners, found himself in space, and from 35 metres out, after having not much impact on this game, sometimes it's not your night, but it can be your moment, and that certainly, he owned that moment then.
You just wonder, for Vicentini, he's been so good for 3 quarters, but does he have the tank to go with the Harden O'Brien? And he's on the bench at the moment, Vicentini, and O'Brien was able to sprint for that uncontested mark and use his big motor.
Butter's gone forward too.
Well, this is where Finlayson needs to stand up. He's smaller, but he's more nimble and agile. He's done well, but no, O'Brien got it back to Dawson. He's been quiet. He has a shot from goal from 70 metres out. Fogarty. Oh, he dropped it. Good defensive work. Got that. Struck it off the ground by Rankin. He gets 2 in a row.
You can't keep him down, Kimbo.
Have a look at that. A drop mark by Fogarty. went right through the breadbasket, then socket off the ground by Rankin, and the margin out to 21 points in the blink of an eye.
2 and 30 seconds.
Oh, what about the tap from Riley O'Brien? Oh, he's had his work cut out all night, but he went up against a smaller opponent, and he flipped it over his head to Dawson running flat out. Dawson put it into the square. Fogarty should have marked it. He dropped an absolute lolly, but Rankin gets it, spins his body, and out of midair sockers it off the ground from a tight angle.
Fogged out the duck.
And it was beautifully called, Kano, because you said that Vicentini went off the ground and it just made it too easy.
It's just hard for him. He just can't go, and O'Brien's exposing that. But what about the class of Rankin? You called it Wilds, like hadn't hardly touched the footy, and when he had, his ball used to be poor tonight. And he looks like he's going to be the match winner.
The kick of Dawson's a magnificent too. So the Crows now on a bit of a high. Butters back on. He got possession. Gave it to Wines. Kicks to centre half forward. Georgiada's been quiet in the second half. Miller gets back. He's got support now. And Keane took his time. Needs to be good. To Cumming. Made the kick look better than it was. Crows all of a sudden a bit of ascendancy here.
They look fitter. They look like they're covering the ground really well, and Port Adelaide just look out on their feet, led by Butters, who's cramping early in the last term.
They've given everything. Port's last quarters have been poor this year.
Haven't won one.
Yeah, normally that was one of their strengths years ago. Ball back towards the wing. Gee, Phyllis can hardly get it. He could hardly get it. It's going to be done.
Yeah, he got done. You've got to be smarter than that. Doesn't matter how tired you are, you cannot carry the ball over the line. He's gone off now.
He's on reserve tank. Phyllis has got nothing.
I tell you what, that's nearly 50 metres because he was standing the mark, and you got to stand. You don't let him move, and he came off, and then Vicentini came onto the mark.
And this guy. Anyone want to man up Rankin?
No, he's having a bounce. It's party time now. They only lead by 21. There's still time for Port Adelaide. We've got 14 minutes on the clock. But gee, they need to start now. Picked up by Philthorpe. Got it to Keys. Goes to the hot spot at the back of the pack. It's rushed. Oh, no. Nearly a soccer goal from Neil Bullen. Minor score, 22 points the lead. That's on the Revo Fitness. Smash your goals with Revo Fitness scoreboard.
Crows got their second win and Port Adelaide can't find it.
They're just hardened and fit.
So Darren Burgess.
So 88 plays 66. That'd be the biggest lead of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Bix. Ball back towards the midfield. They can't afford another goal, Port. Dawson now always gets boot the ball. Kicks in the pocket. Philthorpe pushed out of the contest. Here they go again, the Crows. Saligo slipped over the crucial moment. Lockie Jones had it, lost it. Wines was good to Sin. Can they get out of trouble? Miller dropped it off his chest under pressure, though, in fairness. Moraes now to Richards. Richards spots something out on the wing. In fact, just the boundary line out there, and Keane now time to collect. Crows look really good at the moment. Laird pushing it in the Rosie direction. Can't take the mark. And in then Taylor's actually done a reasonable job since half-time, tagging him.
Not that much of the ball, though, has he?
Who? Take Rosie to half-time, which is about best on ground.
53,117.
That's I think that's a record.
No, 553,650.
Is it? Okay, that was
500 up the all-time record.
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah.
Sorry, I knew it was 53 something. Ball thrown in on the outer side. Still a lot of footy to be played. Don't give up, Port supporters. If you're listening from home in your cars or anywhere around Australia or the world, have a look at Butters go. He's meant to be knackered, but he gets it back in a 1-2. Got it over to Connor Rosie. Now they go out wide. They are building. Burgoyne needs to hit a target. Drives it in long. Adelaide get numbers back there, but not at the fall of the ball. Moraes was there. Handball went over the top. Here's a chance. Short pass, and they found Lordy.
Yeah.
Needs to convert.
He's been quiet too. This will just be his second kick of the game. He took that big contested mark in the first quarter. Have not seen him since, World, so you're right. This one's just got to go through.
Yeah, nice work by Mitch Georgiades with a little short foot pass, so he needs to kick it. Margin is 22 points. We have 12 and a half minutes left on the clock. But the Revo Fitness scoreboard is Port's enemy at the moment. Lord needs to absorb the pressure. He lines up from 40. He pushed it.
Wow.
He choked. He didn't even kick through
he just poked at it. Didn't even make the distance.
Wow. Kicked at 35 metres.
Yeah, very quiet night to Big Ollie Law, but he's a player of the future. Just keep him fit. Kick in the Vicentini direction. Put out one paw, almost like a baseball glove. They're still crashing in. Been a great game, whoever wins. And Crows have had Warrell and Philthorpe. Philthorpe probably died out second half of that magnificent first half. Peatling, what a pick-up he's been.
Yeah, been good.
Works the boundary, lands into touch where they say that's no intent. Nah, throw it in.
Medal's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting, because Port Adelaide have probably got the two best players on the ground, but they're not looking like they're going to win the game.
What's Worrell's stats, Kane? He's had
20, 19 kicks.
Yeah. Phil Thorpe.
He's been
3
good.
goals.
Yeah, Phil Thorpe's been
if
good
he kicks
too.
one more, Phil Thorpe, you think.
Fogarty's been pretty good as well.
Yeah, he's only one off, I reckon, for being in the conversation. Berry now. Berry push, shove, caught, hold the ball. Great tackle, Bergman. I've loved the battle, Bergman and Dawson.
Yeah, it's been good. He's a class player, Miles Bergman. Absolute gentleman as well off the ground. So he's just perusing his options. Now he unloads, thumps it, butts his back there. Georgiades came in from the side. Gee, took out Riley O'Brien.
Carnage.
Couple of players down. We'll get back to that shortly. It might be Michael Annie, is it? With they got hit in the head.
I reckon Big Riley's counting his vertebrae. He might have missed a couple of them bigs. Jeez, did he get hit hard?
He's very mechanical. He's got up. There he is with the knock knees. Yeah, and here he is. He's back in the contest with Vicentini, who tried to get it down the Butters. Trying to get the kick away there. Not effective. Horn Francis went
Great
through.
tackle.
Good tackle.
Oh, great tackle.
Well done, Miller. So we'll have a ball up 51 metres out from goal on the left half forward flank. Members side, northern end of Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, the clock running down. Port need to get a wriggle on. Need a couple of quick goals. Can't afford Crows to kick one more, you'd think. They do go forward through Richards. All about the mark. Crows in front.
Come on.
What's happened here? Free kick Adelaide, is it?
Yeah.
But
just got to even up their numbers inside forward 50, I think, Port. No point having a spare at the contest or behind the ball now when there's a free Crows player who's causing them all sorts of grief, and then that gets their game going. So I'd be holding 6 forwards and backing your midfield in.
Big Butts has been good since coming back in. He hates conceding goals.
He was good last week too on Mackay.
Yeah, they worked the wing again. Burgoyne couldn't keep it in. The Crows just appear to be running on top of the ground. Port have given everything, and they need a goal, you'd think, in the next 2 or 3 minutes, because the time clock tells us we've still got half a quarter, 10 minutes left.
Hey, Wilds, I like big butts, but I don't know why.
Yeah, well, you've got one yourself.
It's a good song.
I'll let you continue that discussion after hours, boys. It's a little bit creepy. Ball goes down the ground level, or quick hands go to the Horn Dog. Needs to hit a target. Great composure. Good work, though. That was by Michael Annie against Pal Pepper. In there is Bergman. Big tackle. Take us through that, boys.
Jeez, he's strong through the hips,
George
Bergman.
Butts, that was, just was able to hold on to him. And
Dawson.
Yeah, George Dawson.
So what's the song? I like Big Butts, but I don't know why.
Yeah, haven't you seen Shrek?
No. Ball tossed in now.
We digress.
Tossed in, yeah. We're all trying to think of the song. Here's Bergman. That's a long kick.
Hello.
It's going. And it misses just a beautiful leg on Miles Bergman.
It's a huge kick.
Those two have been outstanding. We'll get the stats, Bergman and Dawson.
He's at 18, Bergman, and Dawson has been just quiet with 14.
Wow, so Bergman's won that one.
Yeah, well and truly. Ball gets brought back into play. That by Worrell. Terrible kick. Joshy apologises.
First mistake he's made all night.
Yeah, it might cost the goal too. Short pass comes in and finds Moraes. Not aware of how strong his leg
he
is.
doesn't have this distance.
No, he'd have to kick from 52. Called to play on. He kicks from 52. Goes to the hot spot. Big leap. Big fist away. Ball at ground level. Oh, great work. Daniel. Drew. Willem Drew.
Daniel Drew's
a cricketer. Yeah, bats 4 for the Redbacks.
No, who was the Daniels that played? He wore 28 for 4 years ago, didn't he?
Stephen.
Oh, I don't know.
Stephen Daniels.
The break.
Stephen Daniels. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Just take a rest. Ball back outside the defensive 50. Adelaide now try and surge forward. It's one-on-one walk again.
Coming back to Phil Thorpe for chopping over the arms. It might be Fogarty.
Yep.
So what can Port do? Georgiades has been snuffed out in the second half after
Two goals in the
first half.
2 goals in the second term he kicked.
There's a good get though, Stephen Daniels. That's a blast from the pass.
Well, I had to watch all the old replays.
I wonder if Sarge Perry's out there.
Helicopter kick.
Here go the Crows now. They know they're a goal away from sealing the game. If they can get it out wide, they do. But, gee, good mark again to Bergman.
Pretty ordinary kick from Fogarty. He ran onto his left foot and then kicked it 35 metres straight to Port Adelaide.
He's a wonderful player.
Yeah,
He really is.
Those offers from interstate clubs are coming and higher by the week.
Georgiades on a long penetrating lead. He marks, goes short.
Good lead.
And this man can get the carry.
So
Sean
he's
Francis.
so reluctant, though, to kick from 50. I said this earlier
Yeah.
on. Look at him. He's looking for options because he just doesn't trust himself from 50. I don't know why. Surely, with his power, he can just wheel around to the right.
He has to own it. I'm not trying to keep the game alive. It's
I'm with
21 points. It gets to 15. You go goal to goal. Then all of a sudden pressure back on Adelaide.
Has to kick this, you'd think.
Needs to whack it through. And he should.
Closest thing I've seen of Patrick Dangerfield as a young man. Horn Francis gets close to the man of the mark, puts it up high, and it is going out to the right, I think it is, yeah. So they've had 3 really good chances to kick goals. They've all been points, Bergman, Lord, and now that kick from Horn Francis.
8 minutes. The clock not quite their enemy yet, but it will be, I would say, in another 2 minutes if they can't hit the scoreboard.
Port Adelaide people walking the aisles in front of the hill.
Too early to go yet.
Just going to grab a beer, Bix. Come on, none of that.
We saw the Bulldogs fight back 5 goals in that 5 minutes.
We saw Sydney do it too against Essendon. Ball goes down the line.
They both lost.
Just 3-5 they've kicked in the second half, Port Adelaide, so inaccuracy.
And Kane, they dominated most of that third quarter.
They did.
That was the one.
Adelaide have kicked 5-2, so, I mean, accuracy plays a part, and the Crows have been really strong in that area for the majority of the year.
Throw in right in front of the AFL Nation commentary box. Not a lot happening, and that'll please Adelaide. But Port go forward again, courtesy of Wines. It's a 2-on-2. Big fist away. Worrell at the back. In there is Joey Richards. Got the ball. Handball was clever. Taken by Mead. He gets a handball away. Goes back to Richards. Snapshot.
I think it was touched the way they called it.
They've been unlucky.
So this is the one. The umpire goes to the goal umpire and says it's touched, but then they go upstairs anyway. If the main umpire sees it as touched,
yeah, straight away called a bat. Did he touch it?
So it's Worrell again, is it?
It's just going to go with a soft call because there's nothing to say that he's touched it from that angle.
Look at this angle. You see the ball deviates.
He's got the best eye you've ever seen.
That guy, he does have many. I've been in that arc. There's cameras everywhere in different angles, so they
that
might
guy's
see.
voice annoys me too. Looking at this angle, all you can see it deviates.
A little bit
Little
narky
things start to annoy me. As you get older, they do.
19 points.
Okay, so Port have had 4 guilty chances to score goals, and they missed them all. They need to get one and get one in a hurry. Crows can't get it up in their forward line at the moment. Riley O'Brien, bit of magic there. Looked like he was in the circus.
Here's
a chance for the Crows. What can they do? Taylor, stop, bided his time.
Yeah, well played.
Comes out the Peatling.
They can do this now. They can just manage the ball.
Well, they can't because they've kicked it straight. The man Burgoyne did well. Ollie Wines pushes off his man, gets caught. Great tackle. That is a really, really good tackle from Isaac Cumming.
He's a solid player.
It's not bringing down a buffalo when you try to tackle Ollie Wines. He tried to fend off, but he just had nowhere to release it.
He invented the word core strength.
Yeah, now it's down under 7 minutes, and Adelaide go down the line. They'll try and force it over the boundary. That's exactly what they do.
Bit of manhandling there, I thought.
I just watched Freddie Galea just cannon over the top of Fogarty, and Darcy turned around to the umpire and said, "What about the back of my scone?"
Rochelle been a little bit quiet, kicked a nice goal in the first term.
He kicked 2. Kicked that one on half-time.
Oh, yes, I apologise. He's all by himself at the moment. Lockie Jones moving over there. Now the handball goes out to Keys. Ball goes inside 50. Look for Rochelle at ground level. Ball gets fisted the other way. Over the top of it is Berry working really hard. Saligo gets in there. May got a knee to the head. The umpire said, no, give it to me.
6 minutes 43 left.
Yeah, that's on the clock. But the Revo Fitness scoreboard at the moment. Smash your goals with Revo Fitness is Adelaide by 19.
Hope you've enjoyed the call. It's been a terrific game of footy, and both teams are giving everything. Walk had an airy. Taylor Walk went to put it in his boot, missed by a metre, but comes in and applies a clamp on his opponent, so they keep it in. Seconds ticking away. Matthew Nix turns 50 on Tuesday, so it'll be an early birthday present if the Crows can get up and win for him. Here goes Walker again. Willem Drew, haven't called him much in the second half. He's kicked his paw and Miller cuts it off. Middle of the 50 doesn't get it. Oh, no! It's not over.
Here we go.
It's all about the pace. Young Marias now slips it out wide. Where does he go? They're going to go for home. Massive moment. Kick for goal is offline again. Port Adelaide kicked 5 points on the trot. Wow, the kick from Miller was as bad as you've ever seen.
My goodness.
He played that well, Moraes, too, because he had nothing inside forward 50.
Moraes and Georgiades thought their way through it really well.
How quick was Worrell again to apply pressure? Kane's got to turn over again, is he? Berry front position. Taken by Keith. Does a hammer kick. That'll be deliberate. So Alir.
Is that 5 points on the trot for Port?
Yeah.
Certainly 4.
Got the 22. Yeah, it's 4 points in a row.
So they've kicked 4 points in this term to 3 goals to.
Alir is absolutely knackered. He's no Lone Ranger, so he plays on quickly. What do we got? 5.5 minutes remaining. They deserve to kick a goal. They're doing all the attacking. Ball fisted away. Goes down towards Neil Bullen. Coming through strongly there was Sin. Ball still up for grabs just inside 50. Saligo lurking. Umpire blows the whistle.
So they're plus 16 in inside 50s.
Port Adelaide. They've been doing that for years.
For the game.
Yep. It's always been a feature of their game. They don't have a problem getting it in there.
Plus 20 in clearances.
Wow.
And lose.
That is huge. And that was a kick from Sin, and the mark's been taken in defence.
When Crows go forward, though, their forward line's far more open. They look dangerous. That's the thing, isn't it?
Off turnover. That's when you turn the footy over in your front half. Much easier to go back and score.
Zach Taylor took the mark and he plays on.
Crows out towards Phil Thorpe. Big Riley O'Brien put in there. Just about everyone's out of gas at the moment. Saligo got tackled, not holding the ball. Umpire sweating off now. He's going to pay it. That was the roar of affirmation for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
So Burton with it. Keep an eye on the time clock, Kimbo. They've got to get it moving now. Bergman loved his game.
4:50 left on the clock. Still time.
He stopped the big weapon of Dawson and played well himself. They kick it up to centre half forward. Riley O'Brien got spoiled from behind by his own teammate there in Keane. What's happened here? Free kick. It's going Port's way.
You just wonder about Willie Rioli as well, with 58 entries. He's probably got 3 goals in him, you would think, like if he's there instead of McEntee. So,
well, this one has to go through, I think, Kane.
Yeah.
There is 4.5 minutes, and Burn Jones has it 50 metres out from goal. Kick from about 45. Northern end. They missed 4 on the trot. Can he pop one through? That's a nice kick. That's a really good kick, Darcy Burn-Jones. DBJ kicks a goal for Port Adelaide, and there is a pulse. There's still plenty of time now. 12 points the margin.
Gee, the 4 points might have been handy, Bix.
Well,
a draw.
When you think that the game's over, they put almost the goal out of nothing, really. And now it's just throw caution to the wind. Like, you just got to get on the bolt through the centre bounce. Can you get one straight away and put the pressure back on Adelaide?
Centre clearance is critical.
Not sure they've quite got the mix right. Even have a look at Rosie in that centre bounce for this one over Ollie Wines and Bergman. It's a pretty inexperienced. Well, Wines has done it a lot, but he doesn't have the explosive power with Vicentini. So Butters, yes, but you either had to put Horn Francis or Rosie alongside of him, I would have thought.
Yeah, they've gone with Bergman. He is in there. Berry's in there. Saligo and Dawson. And it's Riley O'Brien opposed to Vicentini. The crowd trying to lift 53,117 fans. Trying to urge Port Adelaide over the line. Going through was Butters. Couldn't take it. Ball still alive. Sock it out the ground. Comes back out to the member side. Adelaide have the numbers, not the footy though. That's a free kick to Burgoyne. No. Play on. I thought he got in his back.
No, I think the Adelaide player tried for the contact below the knees. That's what he was going for, but the umpire thankfully didn't fall for it.
Well called, Bix. Ball gets thrown up. That's why you're expert, along with Kane Corns, thanks to Lumo Energy. Oh, here we go. Butters, handball over the top. Could this be another goal? Bergman gets it. Kicks long. It's a 2-on-2. Oh, no. Ball gets down to ground level. There's a point.
Oh, it's 2 goals now. Less than 2 goals.
A rush behind. Do Adelaide try and hold on to the footy? No, they kick it out straight into a 2-on-2. The ball at the back of the pack's taken by Saligo.
Chance for the Crows to Fogarty's played a big game, gets pushed in the back. Umpire lost the whistle, then Radicalier runs over the interchange gate. 11 points is the margin, and there's still 3.5 minutes. If they can get one in the next minute, would be one of the great showdowns.
Stack of time.
The classic showdown. Every player out on their feet. Crows struggling to score. Their scoring's dried up too.
Yeah, they need to attack.
Up there's Riley O'Brien coming through. There's that man Worrell fended off Wines. Was it too high?
Oh,
players getting knocked over like Skittles in a bowling alley. They work it up towards half forward. Can they take a mark? They did. They jumped early. Jumping jack free kick. Free kick to Adelaide. Gee.
Rosie's gone forward, tried to take a hanger. I think they paid an unrealistic attempt in the end, but they went
too high. I think.
You're right, Kano.
The non-controlling umpire eventually paid it late against Rosie, but there was 2 free kicks there anyway.
That's why he's our expert, thanks to Lumo Energy.
2:55 and Adelaide can't get a pass of the wing. They need someone to take a mark. Up early there with Fogarty too. Snared by Burgoyne. Burgoyne towards half forward. Rosie again tried hard. Taylor's at a mark. Are they paying it? No.
What about the crowd saying unrealistic attempt by Fogarty?
Well, he was.
Yeah.
He might have been on his own man, though, that he jumped on.
It's still unrealistic. Ball tossed up again. Can Port Adelaide get one? Horn-Francis broke through. Got rid of the footy. Wasn't holding the ball. Wines in there as well. Bergman again. He's been everywhere. Smashes it towards goal. Bounces out of play. Port can regroup.
How powerful is the leg of Bergman?
He's got beautiful legs.
So you've got to try and create some space here. Get on the move. Don't be selfish. Only allow sort of one to go. Block for Rosie or Horn-Francis. Try and win a free kick.
2 minutes, and conversely, Adelaide need to win the football, and then a couple of 2 or 3 passes to Burnett. Minute on the clock. Picked up by Rosie round the goals. Missed.
That's your chance.
Wow.
That's your chance.
Yeah, that's it.
1 goal, 5 in the last. Crows have not been in their forward line most of the quarter.
Connor Rosie did exactly what Kano said. He got on his bike, he was on the move, he took it cleanly, he was unimpeded, but just missed.
There's 130 seconds left. Adelaide just clinging on for dear life. Port Adelaide's effort has been outstanding. Riley O'Brien up. Where's Horn-Francis? There he is. Richards trying to get it out. Wines in there. Burgoyne snaps back towards half forward. Mark not taken. It's a 50-50 ball that come from everywhere. They try and keep it in. Finlayson's goal! Finlayson has kicked a goal! And there is time!
Oh my goodness!
We're up for an incredible finish. There's still a minute 48 on the clock. Port Adelaide will not lie down and die.
Take us through this, boys.
Who went home?
Exactly, they were walking the aisles. They're walking back in there.
Here we go. Take us through this.
Wow, it was just an inside 50 scramble kick. Good contest. Ball spilled out to Finlayson on the left pick-up.
Incredible.
One-step kick when they have not gone through from simple shots. He's able to somehow squeeze that through 3 sets of hands and give Port Adelaide a chance with a minute 47 on the clock.
More than a chance. Yeah, more than a chance, a big chance. Adelaide were leading by 22 points. So we've got the ball back in the centre field. Peatling is in there. Wines is there. Bergman is there alongside of Dawson. Adelaide all of a sudden, even though they're leading, they are under the pump and the crowd is going absolutely ballistic. 53,000. The tap was won by Riley O'Brien. Going through was Peatling. Couldn't take it. Vicentini fighting hard. Loose ball picked up by Horn-Francis. Now he kicks. The crowd goes crazy. He goes inside. What an unbelievable mark by Mark Keane. That is on the game real estate mark of the year for courage.
Got to get one. Got to get a man.
Time. Crows need to just...
Well, they need to Butts needs to walk away from him, but he doesn't. So they go down the line, and this plays in the hands of Port Adelaide. Ball goes down to ground level. In there is Berry, taken high. Umpire says dead heat.
Now the problem is Adelaide can put everyone back.
They haven't though, have they?
Well, there's still a few inside forward 50 they've got. Might be Isaac coming free behind the ball.
That was a mistake by Keane. Should have passed it on.
Here we go. Butters keeps it in. Not for long.
Got a free kick.
Free kick to Butters. Keep it up. Still a minute left. One of the classic showdowns.
57 seconds.
Ken Hinkley on the edge of his seat. Burton's got the footy. They just need a mark.
Here we go.
This is it. Do or die. They kick it in the pocket. And O'Brien puts up the big arms.
Now, Port Adelaide needs a man up here because he cannot kick.
We know he can't kick. He's just got to kick it as long as he can, but he doesn't. He handballs it. And Crows get out of trouble momentarily. Up goes Phil Thorpe, can't take the mark. Port Adelaide keep on pressing. It's amazing stuff. The hurry kick out wide. It lands towards the boundary line. Will it stay? And it does. Lockie Jones has got to keep it in. Well done, Rankin. Rankin pushes it out. And there is 21 seconds left.
So it's digital. There'll be 16.
Gee, you think the Crows are going to hang on. Check that score. It's 12-12-84 to 13-10-88. It's a classic game. We've enjoyed it from go to woe.
Still time.
It's all about the next one out here, you'd think. Port have to get it out and have to get it out quickly. They can't have another stoppage. Horn-Francis with his leg.
There we go.
Here's Berry. This should seal it for Adelaide. Berry can run towards the 50. Can kick towards goal. Will it slide through? It's going. It's missed, but it won't matter. You think the Crows are home. There's the siren. What a classic game of football.
Wow.
And Crows take the ledge and they lead 29-28. When of the best games we've seen. Happy birthday to Matthew Nix. And that is an all-time great showdown.
Let's have a listen to the song. Well, there we go. That was an amazing game of footy.
The two big marks when we thought Port were going to sneak it home.
Gee, that mark by Keane was really gutsy. That was again real estate mark of the day. Let's quickly go down the ground level. I think Isaac Rankin is there. He's about to go. No, they're still waiting to queue him up there, the host broadcasters. We'll get down there very shortly. All right. We've got a bit to get through. We only got 5 minutes to do it, boys. Our experts are here thanks to Lumo Energy. Switch to 100% Australian 9. Wow. Where do we start? Can I just say, before we do these awards, did the best side win or not?
No, not necessarily. I think if Port had won, either side would deserve to win it.
Yeah, I agree.
Port's last quarter and second half came had so many chances.
But statistically...
statistically, like, it was like Friday night, Thursday night. Like, you've never seen a more dominant performance and lose. Like, so plus 22 in entries.
Yep.
Clearances nearly, 56 to 29 clearances.
Wow.
56 to 29. Win contested possession by 12. Have more of the football, but just their turnovers killed them in the end. Adelaide kicked 9 goals, 9 from Port Adelaide turnovers. So that was the difference in the game, really, and Port Adelaide missed some opportunities.
And we don't want to simplify it, Bix, but 2 goals in 30 seconds to Isaac Rankin, and Port Adelaide pile on 5 points. Rankin kicks 2 goals in 30 seconds.
Well, and also in that middle part of the third quarter, where Adelaide kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes after Port Adelaide had all the play for the first 16 or 17 minutes of the game, so or that quarter. So there's just some periods where Adelaide just dominated for short spaces, and that's probably the difference. They're able to put their dominance on the scoreboard because of the quality of their forwards, whereas Port Adelaide just had to scratch and scrape, and Finlayson was snapping them, and it was all hard work. There was no real easy play for them, even though they had so much more of the footy.
And they absolutely never stopped Port Adelaide. They just kept competing. In the end, it was 12-12 to 13-10.
I thought they were going to get up, Kimbo. I thought
there was going to be that type of miracle with everything that's happened this week. Bix, we know you're doing showdown voting. You are not, Kane, are you? If we were to do the medal, boys, it's not an easy one, is it?
It's really hard. And I don't know when you have to file your votes, whether you can wait till the end of the game, but I don't think that probably affects the game as close as that, like probably with Port Adelaide's dominance.
I agree.
I still think they had 2 of the best 3 players on the ground.
The Crows were up by 3 goals with only 4 minutes to go, so you think it probably
when you filed your votes. But
who the Crows? Worrell.
Well, at the end of the game,
Worrell,
if you were to do them now,
I would have gone Rosie as the best player. I thought his first half was unbelievable. So I would have given him the 3. I probably would have given Phil Thorpe 2. Like he's had 10 score involvements, kicked 3. And taken, 10 marks or something, and then Butters probably 1.
How many losing showdown medals have come from the losing side?
Not many. Be rare.
Was it...
Where did Norm Smith was Buckley, wasn't it?
Did Graham
John Cock was one, I think.
Showdown medal in that. Now, why... Biggs, I don't know if you want to speak, but...
No, well, I was just saying Gary Ablett won a Norm Smith as well. It's just, there's probably... Like you say, Port Adelaide had a lot of the dominant players because they were so dominant around clearance.
The stats, yeah.
Yeah, so Wines had 10 clearances, Butters had 10, Vicentini had 6, and Bergman had 6. So they had the 4 best clearance players on the ground.
All thanks to Latex Equipment Hire. What we'll try and do, boys, because we want to go down for the presentation of the medal if we have time. Let's get through some of these awards. The best defender, thanks to Murray Pest Control, play pests at their own game.
Worrell from... I gave Rosie some votes, so I'll go Worrell. He was one of Adelaide's best today, 23, 21 kicks. Doesn't speak to probably his importance as well, those stats, like his defensive efforts were amazing again.
In a word, Bix, you agree?
I really like Worrell. And then Keane is such a dichotomy, isn't he? Because he can be so good at times, like that mark at the end. But then other times you just have yourself pulling your hair out with some of the stuff that he tries to do. But in the end, look, I thought... If you think about Georgiades, who threatened to actually rip the game apart, I thought Keane did all right, but Worrell was the best defender.
Boys, you got a little bit to work with here. The goal of the day, thanks to the Credit Union SA. Kicking goals, thanks to Credit Union SA.
Probably Horn Francis's goal, I think, in the third quarter.
As I've seen this year.
Yep, happy with that.
All systems go there.
What about a big moment today? Gee, there were a few.
Well, Miller
thanks
nearly
to
had it.
Budget Car Rental. Get on the road faster. Call 13-27-27.
Miller nearly turned the game over. There's a lot of big moments.
I think the goal on half time as well. Like when you look at the result, you lose by 5, you give up that goal on half time, which with 5 seconds to go.
There's also that great rundown tackle by Worrell here in the left forward pocket of the scoreboard end. That was big time as well when Georgiades was running into goal.
We'll go down to the ground.
Football Club. Tonight's voting of the Showdown medal has been carried out by a panel of industry experts. I'd now like to invite Miliana, who is a variety grandchild, to present the Showdown medal awarded to the best player on the field.
Jared
And the
Walsh,
winner of the Showdown medal from the Port Adelaide Football Club, Connor Rosie.
Yeah, he played well.
Yeah, fair enough.
I backed the winner. Thankfully.
A few boos.
32 in the end.
Yeah, he was good.
7 score involvements and a goal from half-back.
685 metres game, which was the
He
most
missed one
of any
late
player.
too, didn't he?
Let's go down to Connor.
First of all, just the variety group, just a massive thanks to your support. It goes a long way, and to the Crows, great game, and thanks to everyone to keep turning up. We'll be back here and fighting it out for the rest of the season. So thanks.
Man, a few words, but a very decent human.
Thank you, Connor.
And
Congratulations, and thank you very much to Miliana.
Absolutely brilliant footballer. All right, we've still got a bit to get through. The hot or cold player today, thanks to Panasonic Air Conditioning. Panasonic Comfort Cloud, set your air conditioning from your home.
Well, I thought Rankin and Horn Francis were cold as we go down to Jordan Dawson.
Just want to say thanks to Port Adelaide. Always a great battle against you guys, and we highly respect you guys. To our fans who showed up on the away showdown, unbelievable atmosphere out here, and we love having you guys here. To Variety, thank you for sponsoring the event. As always, such a great cause, and we love playing for you guys. And to our boys, awesome win. Good stuff.
2 captains that are 2 of the quieter captains in the AFL. But a great leader. You're hot and cold player, thanks to Panasonic Air Conditioning, Bix.
Yeah, I actually thought Riley O'Brien, who was just average early, ended up being really good late.
Yep.
Took a couple of nice marks, got a really important tap out from the middle of the ground, which set Dawson on his way and enabled Adelaide to kick 2 goals in about 30 seconds. So he was cold early, but against the young player in Vicentini, but warmed up towards the end.
And a special mention, Jeremy Finlayson. You said much maligned. What, he kicked 3?
Yeah, he kicked 3 goals.
Yeah.
Nearly got them back. Nearly got a victory for them. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You got a bit to choose from. The mark of the day, thanks to McGain Real Estate, sold by McGain again.
Well, Mark Keane took one of the great marks of the year. Honestly,
courageous.
It was
Nick Revolt-like.
If it was in the grand final, it's Leo Barry-like.
Yeah,
it was that good.
Yeah.
There's just the stakes weren't as high as the grand final.
He drops it, they lose the game.
Amazing. Horn Francis with the clearance, you thought it's on here. And just from nowhere, the courage to do that.
If you've just joined us, Adelaide holding on. I mean holding on. They led by 22 points with about 5 minutes to go. They fell in by 5 points. It was a gutsy effort by Port Adelaide. Hey, Bix, if you can take us through the power play rankings for Red Energy, switch to 100% Australian-owned Lumo Energy.
Yeah, it makes really interesting reading, actually, because the highest rated player on the ground was actually Riley O'Brien with 124.
Really?
Connor Rosie second, 122. Wow. James Peatling had 12 tackles. He was ranked very highly. He had 117. Miles Bergman was 112 before you get to Ollie Wines on 97. So interestingly, Zach Butters scored 91 points. So maybe his disposal efficiency wasn't quite as high as others on the ground because he had 33 disposals and 10 clearances.
He tries his guts out. He does. The only way you can describe it.
Do you keep Bergman in the centre now?
Yeah, it's a good question.
He played well.
It's a good problem for them to have. I think you definitely look at it.
He's dynamic. He doesn't have to have a lot of possession.
It just probably affects where you put Willem Drew as well, the flow-on effect to that.
Kano, we need to go around the grounds as well, thanks to TAFE SA, hire an apprentice with fee-free TAFE construction. It was a close one.
The Gold Coast Suns got it done in the end. They're up by 3 points with a minute to go. Ben King kicked the goal on the siren to make it a 9-point win. A good win because the Bulldogs were storming home.
And that on the ladder, boys, I'm not sure if you've got it up, Bix. That was fairly handy for Adelaide because it's a bit congested.
Top 4 now or not?
I'm just having a look.
Close.
It hasn't refreshed. 24 points now, sitting in 5th position because of the Gold Coast victory. They're 7 percentage points behind them. Hey, thanks, Kano.
Great
You were
game,
brilliant,
fellas.
Bitch. You were. That's it. It was Adelaide by 5 points.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Revo Fitness from only $9.69 per week. SEN, the home of SEN cricket. To AFL Nation. Live across Australia on SEN and streaming on the SEN app. Welcome to SEN's coverage of the English Premier League. Hear the biggest games every Saturday and Sunday night.
About they play better football without him, but he's a key cog to stretching the defence. Looking at the Southampton team, it looks like they've had to turn back to about 5. Looking like they're playing with no striker, so they're trying to block all these space up because they know when Haaland's playing, if you allow these little slip balls to be played down the side of your centre half, so anywhere across that back line, he's in there and you're in trouble. So for me, he's the best finisher in world football. He's not the best striker in world football at this moment in time. I'd still give that to Isaac, but he's having a very good job.
And talking of number 9s, Saints have had a season where they're playing with a rubbish number 9. They're now playing with a false number 9 today. Is that how it's working out? Is that how you see the team shape?
Yeah, I've been here before where they tried to play Fernandez through the middle as like a false 9. I think they're going to try to do that with Tyler Dibbling today because obviously he can carry the ball up the pitch. He also is a little bit of a liability defensively as well. So, look, it's going to be a difficult afternoon for this Southampton team. And what they have changed since the new guys have came in, they go back to front very, very quickly. So I do think they're going to be in a situation where they're going to be camped in their own box, trying to play that low block and trying to get out. I just think they're going to struggle to get out, Aid. I really, really do. This could be, if City score early, this could be one, and I've been in this situation myself, where you're thinking, just keep it under 6.
Cool. Let's see what happens. Man City trying to go for second place, which we were talking about a moment ago. Here at Molineux, Wolves against Brighton. And Mickey Gray, Tez Cunha is all over the programme today, which tells me they're getting all their features in on Mateus Cunha before he leaves.
Yeah, I think we know he's going to leave, Adrian, isn't he? And it looks like his journey's going to take him to Manchester, by all accounts. You know, whether other clubs come in for him before that happens or not, but I think he's got his mind set up that he wants to go and play for Manchester United, and he makes Manchester United a better side, without a doubt, whether it's 60, 65 million quid. But I think I've seen him live on 2 or 3 occasions, and he's just a joy to watch. You know, whether you like him or his personality on and off the field, he's an outstanding player, and I think he could have gone to any of the sides in the top 4 or 5, maybe even top 6 or 7 in the Premier League, and make them a better side. But I think his attitude has got to change on certain occasions where we've seen him. You know, the red mist comes across and he got himself sent off, but there's no argument about his talent and his ability, and I can't wait to see him play against this Brighton team today, who we know like to entertain. They've got some wonderful players themselves, but I think Cunha is certainly the one I'll be looking out for.
And let's quickly go to Portman Road. Dean Ashton is there. I just want to talk about these Brentford goal scorers. Visser and Mbomo have got 18 Premier League goals each. It's absolutely astonishing what they're doing, and we all wondered if the goals would continue without Ivan Toney. Clearly that's not a problem for Brentford.
No, exactly. The recruitment's just been fantastic at Brentford, and Thomas Frank has been able to develop the players that he's given. Watkins leaving, Toney leaving, and then all of a sudden you've got another star that's waiting to come in, and they're just so exciting to watch, those two in particular. And Brentford as a side, I mean, 14 of their Premier League games have contained 4 or more goals. It's just that they've really sort of maybe opened themselves up defensively a little bit more this season, but it's to try and get more out of the forward line that they've got. Damsgaard's another player that's gone very, very much under the radar. I haven't seen a lot talked about him. We'll remember him scoring against England in the Euro. He's a terrific technical player in behind those forward lines as well. So it's just a combination that's worked brilliantly all season.
Burma and Visser 18 each, so they still could both score 20 goals each in the Premier League this season. Only 4 times have 2 players from one club scored 20-plus goals in a season. I'll leave that one hanging there for you all to think about for just a moment. But TalkSport taking you to the Emirates. Another goal in the WSL, Rebecca Adams.
Yeah, it's Arsenal 4, Man United 2. Elizabeth Turlan's come off the bench and added a second for United just inside the area. Manuela Zinsberger got a hand to it, but the ball bobbled out from underneath her hands and into the back of the net. Man United, though, they've got a long way to go here if they are to have a chance of finishing in second, given that they need a win here, and they haven't matched Arsenal's intensity in this second half. With less than 20 minutes to go, Arsenal have subbed off goal scorer Chloe Kelly, with Beth Mead coming on to replace her. It's Arsenal 4, Manchester United 2.
And up again, that League One playoff semi-final first leg in East London. Leyton Orient 1, Stockport 2. That's live on TalkSport 2 right now.
Stay on the ball while you're on the road. The SEN app is now